most storied franchise in the National Hockey League, the Montreal Canadiens, are just a game away from winning their first series since 2021 after winning Game 5. Can Tampa Bay force a Game 7 back in Florida? That's going to be the question here tonight, folks. Hello, everybody. I'm Max. Glad you can be with us on our coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs here on the NHL and MHS. This should be a good one, as the Montreal Canadiens are just a win away from moving on to the second round of the playoffs. As we will see, we could potentially see the matchup here tonight if Buffalo wins as well. That game starting in 30 or 40 minutes from this one's start, as the Canadiens at home in Game 6 is all-time when leading a series 3-2 are 7-1. They have not won a series since 2021. That was back during that weird year where it was still the bubble, but there were some fans in the building. They won that series in the semifinals against the Vegas Golden Knights to go to the Stanley Cup final. That was their last series win. And for the Canadiens, they're going to have to keep off Brandon Hagel, who has 6 goals for the Tampa Bay Lightning. You could say he tied this series up going back to Tampa for Game 5. He put out a great effort with 2 goals in Game 4. And in Game 5, Montreal held on for a 3-2 lead. All games in this series have been 1-goal decisions. The first 3 going into overtime, the last 2 ending in regulation, but holding on for dear life. Because man, oh man, this series has been tight and potentially has been one of the best opening round series of these Stanley Cup playoffs. I wouldn't be surprised if we see another overtime to potentially either send this series to 7 or to end it here at the Bell Center. You gotta know the Montreal crowd is loving it here at the Bell Center, and they're going to be ready for a big Game 6 as they could move on to the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs and either face Buffalo or the Boston Bruins. It'd be something if they face the Bruins. That would be an all-time second-round series right there. John Cooper, the head coach of the Tampa Bay Lightning, said Victor Hedman will not play in Game 6. He has been gone from the team since March 25th due to a leave of absence, and they won't have him here tonight, the captain of the Tampa Bay Lightning. So it's going to be huge for the Tampa Bay Lightning to get a win here because they are facing elimination for the 4th consecutive season in the first round, as they have lost 3 opening round series in the past 3 years. Man, the sights outside the Bell Center, it is packed outside, it is packed inside. Oh boy, we're going to have a good one here. As man, oh man, they're going to need a very big performance from Jacob Dobish if the Montreal Canadiens want to win, and he had a big one in game number 5 with 38 saves on 40 shots, holding on to a 3-2 lead. Montreal leads the series 3-2. We'll be back with the puck drop and the anthems coming up next year on the NHL and MHS. A raucous Bell Center. Tampa trying to force it to a Game 7. Well, with the Bell Center packed right now, it is packed outside, it is packed inside. Let's see what's going to happen as the intros start here in Montreal.
Ladies and gentlemen, accueillons nos Canadiens!
A very loud crowd.
The starting lineup. Le numéro 8, number 8, Mike Matheson. Le numéro 17, number 7.
Friday night fever in Montreal.
Well, the crowd is going very loud inside of the Bell Center here tonight as here we go. We've been waiting for this series, for its conclusion. We don't know how it's going to end. Is it going to go 7 or will it go 6? It will end here tonight. That will be the question, obviously. If the Montreal Canadiens can get this done, that will be big for them. They will either move on against Buffalo or the Boston Bruins. Obviously, the intro's happening right now, and glad you have tuned in with us here on our coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs here on the NHL, on MHS. The anthems are about to start right now.
Chers partisans, demeurez debout, retirez chapeaux et casquettes pour l'interprétation des hymnes nationaux par Quartum. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Remove your hats and caps for the national anthems performed by Quartum. Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land
The noise level
May 1st.
deafening here inside the Bell Center, and that was expected, obviously, in this series. And in this raucous crowd here in Montreal, it was going to happen. A sold-out Bell Center for Game 6. Can Montreal move on to the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs, or will Tampa force it to a Game 7? Vasilevsky in net, an .880 save percentage, 2-3 record, goals against average of a 2.68. Dobish, a big performance in Game 5. He has a .903 save percentage and a 2.49 goals against average with a 3-2 record here in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Martin St. Louis and his squad trying to move on. John Coopers and Kucherov trying to keep their season alive with a win here on the road to force it back home for Game 7 back in Florida, which would be on Sunday. Big moments. The starting lineup: Tampa Bay Lightning, McDonough, Hagel, Cirelli, Chernak, and Kucherov. Cirelli's going to take this face-off against Matheson, and we're underway here at the Bell Center. McDonough has it on the backhand. He got it around for Chernak in the corner. Big hit along the boards, and an icing on the Lightning. Early on in the game, the crowd's in it. 12 seconds in, now is the icing there on the Lightning, and the faceoff will be inside the Tampa Bay zone. A crushing hit there by Anderson. Josh Anderson has had some goals here in this series, 2 goals, and a faceoff here in the offensive zone. Caulfield's out there with Suzuki and Slafkovsky, the top line here for the Canadiens. McDonough tries to stretch it ahead, couldn't. Bouncing puck, it's Gord, and actually it's going to be an icing here again here on Tampa Bay. So there's 2 consecutive icings here by the Lightning early on in this hockey game. You got to know John Cooper and the experience that this Tampa Bay squad has. They have what they can do. They have the will and know that they can force this series to a Game 7 back in Tampa Bay. And Slafkovsky gets it from the pile off the dot. Played back here to the point for Hudson. Here's Gooley waiting. Fires it around the boards to the opposite corner here for Slafkovsky. Tied up with McDonough. Shot by Suzuki, missed wide of the net. And here's Gooley along the half wall. Throws it towards the net and the save made. Here's Caulfield now, high slot. Caulfield fired it wide as it got blocked. Suzuki now plays that in deep behind the net. Now Slafkovsky waiting, trying to go backdoor for Caulfield. It got broken up by Vasilevsky. Chernak and Gord will spin back as McDonough tries to clear it. It barely squeaks out of the zone. Almost a dangerous pass there. Montreal going to change as well. You got to be careful to be not called for too many men call, and they don't. They avoid that. Gooley has the puck now for the Canadiens. Got ahead here. Bolduc lost it. Played back here by Texier. This line has 5 goals combined here in the series. They have been very dominant in this series against the Lightning. Vasilevsky got it to Moser, who got the Game 2 overtime winner in this series. The first 3 going into overtime. Radish fires! And a save made. Dobish. A 93.6 mile per hour slap shot on Dobish, and he responds big with a save. This was the chance that Slafkovsky was trying to go backdoor. Slafkovsky has not had any goals since his hat trick in Game 1. And that one off the helmet. Dobish made the save. And shots are even at 1 here in Game 6. 1:34 into the first period. Welcome you in if you just joined us. Scoreless here in Game 6. Montreal with a 3-2 lead in the series. Trying to close out the series here at the Bell Center. Gensel got it off the draw. Lilleberg shot deflected just wide of the net. A bouncing puck that slowed down. Gensel played that back around the boards as Lilleberg tried to install it deep. Gensel lost the puck. Battle for it in front of the net. And Texier got it ahead here. Here's Hudson the other way. Flips it back in as it's gloved down by Vasilevsky, and he gets the whistle. Andre Vasilevsky is going to be in need of a big game here in Game 6 if they hope to continue this run and try to force it to a Game 7. Last year, Corey Perry had 10 goals with the Oilers in their run. He has no goals here in this series, no assists as well, and Corey Perry has not been seen yet, as he's been reunited after he lost in the 2022 Stanley Cup Final with these Lightning. As he was a part of that squad, and he lost to Colorado in 6. Off the draw, won by Cirelli. McDonough cleared it out to Seno Hagel, and here's Gensel the other way, battling Matheson in the corner. Gensel has it along the half wall, playing that back here for McDonough. Installs it deep in behind the net now for Gord. Gord, Gensel tried to glove it down along the boards. Chernak in behind the net now. Gensel tied up from behind and picked up here by Deneau, and it's cleared. McDonough, and then slapped back in here by Chernak. Played by Dobish in behind his own net. Gord steals it away. Gord missed an open net. Oh, wow. Kucherov dropped it. Radish on the backhand dropped it again for Kucherov. He has some room. Fires wide of the net, and he gloves it down off the bounce off the backboards. Oh, what a chance for the Lightning to go up by 1. And that failure of putting it into the empty net might cost them if they don't win this game. Oh, man, an open net for Gord, and he somehow did not control the puck as Dobish was racing back to get back in the crease. Unbelievable. And Dobish gets away with one right there. Man. And an opportunity there for the Tampa Bay Lightning. And they could not convert on the misplay by Jacob Dobish. Off the draw, one here by Deneau. Gouli around the boards here for Suzuki. Clear to the head here. Savkovsky deflected it back in on Vasilevsky. Moser gets it now from Vasilevsky. And a giveaway right at the blue line. Here's a chance. Caulfield hit the post! Cole Caulfield off the iron. Kucherov tried to stretch it ahead. Chipped back in. Suzuki will try to get there first. Vasilevsky gets there though. And in the corner, Savkovsky. Cirelli trying to clear it. Man, both teams have had opportunities here in this one. Here's Kucherov crossing the line. Kucherov in! Save made Dobish! And it goes wide. Savkovsky will carry it ahead now. Moving it here is Suzuki along the wall. Nice stutter step. Pass to Caulfield. Savkovsky missed the pass. Oh my. It's wide open here in the first period. Perry deflects it into the corner. Carrier in behind the net. They weren't kidding when this series has been one of the most entertaining. And in this Game 6, there's been a plenty full of chances, but no goals. Cole Caulfield off the post and open net. Here's Perry now with the opportunity. Save, rebound. Gensel could never get the rebound as it bounced away from him. Cleared it up in the air, knocked down here by Point. Stolen away here by Texier. The pass deflected off a Point's stick, and he carries it back into Gensel. Gensel in, hits the post. 2 goal posts here in the first period already. 1 for each team. Gensel now has it. Centering pass, could not go. He plays it back here to the Point. Dash through the shot, blocked on the way through. Point dropped his stick as it broke. Bolduc now has the puck. He'll wait and got it ahead. Texier deflected it. They'll go for a change. Shot back in here by James, pardon me. Around the boards it goes here for Newhook. Tied up in the corner. A battle for it. Bjorkstrand centering pass for Gonsalves. Couldn't connect as it deflected off a stick in front. That will be played here by Vasilevsky in his own zone. The shots are 4-2 in favor of the Lightning. Still in the way here by Newhook. Dropped it. Gallagher's shot. Blocking the way through. Here's Newhook along the half wall. Playing that into the corner. Played back. Newhook shot. Blocked on the way through. Jack-Eye looking in the corner. Tied up with Bjorkstrand. Plays it into the corner. Newhook into the opposite corner here for Gallagher. Newhook in behind the net now as Demi Dawes parked in front. Gallagher plays that back to the line. Shot deflected wide of the net. Along the boards, Gallagher trying to get into the corner. Bjorkstrand gets there first. Big thrown hit there. Held in the zone. Gallagher shot deflected wide of the net. From the point, Suzuki plays that back here to the line. Held in for a moment. Lightning intercept. Gonsalves fires it back in from the blue line. Around the boards it goes here. Wow, what action. Struble had it to Jack-Eye. And the crowd recognizing that here at the Bell Center. And that will be played here by Vasilevsky. We have not had a whistle in a little bit after the consecutive icings by the Lightning early on in the first period. Carried back in here as here's a chance for Hagel's shot that got blocked on the way through. Cirelli holds it in along the boards. Deflected by Matheson into the corner. Hagel missed the hit. Cirelli along the half wall. Kucherov gets it in behind the net now for Hagel. Hagel with 6 goals here in the series. Skate to stick. Plays that back here to the line. Moser's shot! Save as it goes into the corner. Radish in behind the net now. Radish brings it in front. Save! Dobish. Another big stop. Given away here to Hagel. Cirelli around the boards. A big hit thrown there in the corner. Suzuki steals it away. It was around 40 seconds of ozone pressure by the Lightning. Paul is trying to pressure Suzuki off the puck. Flipped out by the Canadiens out to center ice. Radish now has it, fires it back in off the glass. Around the boards it goes. Gordon in the corner gets there first. Around the boards it goes back to the point where no one's there. And here come the Canadiens trying to poke it ahead as it's stolen away along the wall. Pass into the middle. Deneau couldn't get it. And Gord will move it in the other way. Gord fires it into the corner, played by Dobish. Man, Strobel gets sandwiched in the corner. Paul around the boards to the opposite corner. Deneau not held, is held in actually. Shot deflected and a save made. In behind the net now for Gergensons, playing that back into the line. Lilleberg shot deflected, it was blocking the way through. Paul plays that back, shot! And it goes over the net. Strobel, Dastu in behind the net now. It's Gord in the corner. Gord gets taken down from behind by Jackeye. Paul gets to the loose puck. Paul in on the backhand. Backhand shot! And they missed wide. Margan, a piece of Dobish. Gord in the corner, playing that into the Gensel. It deflected over his stick, and it's cleared out by Montreal out to center. Tampa Bay pressuring, though, as they have 6 shots. Montreal have only 2. Lilleberg stutter steps and plays that back here from McDonough as he goes for a change. Man, no whistles in a while here at the Bell Center. Getting that back here for Gooley. And stolen away along the boards almost by Point. In behind the net now. It was Perry who lost it. Flipped out to center, race for the puck here. Texier trying to get there first and negates the icing. McDonough in the corner. Tying up Bolduc. They're battling for it. Chernak just digging for that loose puck in the corner. Along the half wall, played ahead off the boards for Gensel. Jake Gensel, who leads the team with points with 8 here in this series. Here's Hudson now, playing it ahead. As Matheson tried to move it ahead, couldn't. Intercepted, and Gonsalves fires it back in from the blue line. Dobish plays it in behind his own net. Gonsalves intercepts along the wall. Hudson in the corner, tied up with Bjorkstrand. Bjorkstrand plays it around the boards, back to the point, held in. Radish the long shot, wide of the net. Gonsalves poke checked away. Suzuki got into the middle for Hudson. Here's Caulfield now, firing it back in from center as they go for a change. Moser. We have not had a whistle in a while here at the Bell Center. And I think you can hear in my voice. Need a water break. Moser moves it ahead. Back in onside is Hagel. Hagel's shot! And a save made, Dobish! And a whistle there. We'll be back. 10:36 to go. Tampa Bay with the majority of shots here. Caulfield off the post earlier on in the game as Sivkovsky had the backdoor feed, and what a stick there defensively. And then Gensel right off the iron. Man, oh man. What a game so far here at the Bell Center. We will be back in just a moment here at the Bell Center. welcome you back here to the Bell Center with 10:36 to go here in the first period. It is scoreless as the series has been tied for almost 59% of the series for the first 5 games. And 1-goal leads have been basically what you've needed here to win this series, because all 5 have ended in a 1-goal decision. 3 of them in overtime consecutively in the first 3 games of the series, the last 2 ending in regulation, but some heart-breaking losses for both teams in game 4 and 5. The referee gets taken down there in the corner. Played around the wall here. Dobish plays it around the boards it goes, as it's Savkovsky trying to get to that loose puck. Gouli, and now Demidov. The Montreal right now taking on the offense right now of the Tampa Bay Lightning as they can't get a pass out of the zone, at least for the moment. And now moved ahead here by Demidov. Fired back in from the red line. Savkovsky trying to get there first on Chernak, tying up in the corner. Demidov looking the center one! What a save on Evans! He didn't get a complete shot away there, but Evans with the opportunity in front with 9:54 to go here in the opening period. We welcome you back into the Bell Center. I'm Max. Glad you can be with us on our coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs here on the NHL and MHS. Subscribe if you haven't been able to, or you haven't gotten the chance to, as we will cover the rest of the Stanley Cup playoffs. We had a great game the other night. I believe that was yesterday, with the Flyers moving on the other day, with the Flyers moving on in overtime. We had the privilege of calling that game with the game-winning goal by Cam York in Game 6 of that series between the Penguins and the Flyers. And hopefully we maybe see some overtime here in this one. Off the draw, Matheson around the glass it goes. We've already had 11 or 12 overtime games here in the opening round of the Stanley Cup playoffs, and I don't think that's going to end anytime soon. Off the board, Suzuki trying to get there. Up in the air it goes. It's flipped back in. Suzuki back in on side. Suzuki looking across the ice into the middle. Shot! Save made! On a chance there as Vasilevsky makes the save. Kucherov drop pass. Sorelli back Hagel. Hagel in the circle. Waits. Plays it. Kucherov deflected it away. Hagel trying to chip it back in. Gets hit there by Caulfield along the glass. Hagel has been their most productive player in the series of goals with 6. As they have been very good. Bolduc fires it back in. Round the boards it goes. Radish tying up there. Dastu in his first game back after an injury. Doc kicked it for Bolduc in behind the net now. Doc will play it back here to the point. It's held in by Struble. One-time shot by Doc. Got blocked. That might have gone off the glove of Vasilevsky into the corner. Cleared out by Tampa Bay, and it's taken away here by Dominic James. 1-on-2. Dominic James! And a save made by Dobish. The 8th shot here for the Tampa Bay Lightning here in the opening period. They have played well. Into the corner. Evans drop pass. Bolduc! What a save with the pad! Vasilevsky coming up big. In the corner, James got to Dastu. It has been a physical one here at the Bell Center as crushing hits continue on. Dobish, and now it's Hudson. Stretched ahead, deflected by Bolduc. Race to the puck here is Gallagher to the loose puck. Gallagher in behind the net now. Got it to the no. The gloves on the ice here. I'm not sure who it belongs to. It comes back to Hudson. His long shot deflected wide of the net. Newhook in the corner. Dano has it on the backhand, playing that back here to the point. Long shot by Gouli into the glove of Vasilevsky. With 7:47 to go, and finally the physical stuff ramps up here in front of the net as everyone gets together after the whistle. And it seems like there's going to be penalties out of this, but the crowd here in Montreal loving it. You're at the Bell Center. In the first period, it's been a high-paced opening period of this series. It looked like it was going to be a cross-check there on Doc on the York strand, but then this chance by Bolduc right off the pad. Texier, pardon me, not Bolduc. We'll be back in just a moment. Scoreless here in Montreal. Welcome you back here to Montreal. That was a wrong graphic for a moment, but with 7:47 to go here in the first period, it is scoreless. Montreal leading the series 3-2, and the physicality has not stopped here, like it has not throughout the whole series. Shots are 8-5 in favor of the Lightning. The hits belonging to Montreal 11-10 right now in their favor. 21 combined hits here, less than 13 minutes into the first period here at the Bell Center. Kucherov has the puck now as he tries to carry it ahead. Hagel couldn't get to the loose puck, forced out to center. Fired back in here by Slafkovsky from the blue line. Vasilevsky around the boards, knocked down along the half wall by Danault, and then Tampa clears it out to center. Going back for the puck here is Carrier. And now Montreal has possession as Danault got it to Matheson in the middle. Matheson fires it back in around the boards. It is played here by Point, out to center. Hagel then deflected it away, and Danault regains possession here for Montreal. Now it's starting to slow down a little bit here as Gouli has the puck now as he'll carry it ahead. Gouli through center, flips it into the corner with 7 minutes to go here in the opening period of Game 6. Gouli playing that back here to the line. Hudson the long shot, blocked away there by Vasilevsky. Caulfield was tied up with Chernak and he fell down. McDonough around the boards, a missed hit there by Suzuki, intended on McDonough. McDonough trying to get that pass back to Chernak, and he did. And a huge hit in the corner delivered there on Chernak. Man, oh man, after he just cleared the puck. McDonough carries it ahead here. Through center ice, got it to Gensel along the wall. Gets crushed along the boards. Wow, by Anderson. Half wall here as it's centered out in front. It deflected wide of the net. Lilleberg has it, then lost it in the corner. Struble will move it into the middle as it's deflected away of Caulfield's possession. He'll go for a change with 6 minutes to go here in the first period of Game 6. As they move it back in here on side. Big hit in the corner. Gonsalves in the tie-up along the half wall. Deflected up in the air, and it's out of play. With 5:51 left to go, the faceoff will stay in the Montreal end. We will be back again, everybody. 5:51 to go, scoreless here in Montreal. Welcome you back here as if Tampa Bay gives up the first goal here, I mean, they haven't had a lead at the end of the first period in their past 20 games, including the regular season. It goes back to March 19th, including 2 regular season games against the Canadiens. And they have given up the first goal in 4 of the first 5 games of this series. As, man, they have not done well in trying to get the lead early on. Shot blocked on the way through as Hagel was in the way. In behind the net now, Kucherov. Cirelli's parked in front. Kucherov forced off the puck there by Carrier. Kucherov gets the puck back. Battle with it with Carrier in the corner. And Kucherov steals it away from Carrier. Kucherov looking to center one. It goes with the skates of Hagel. Drop pass here for Hagel once again from Paul. Got it back here to Radish. Kucherov looking. Trying to make a move. Radish from the blue line fires one and got blocked on the way through by Matheson. And Newhook will move it the other way. Newhook on the outside. Forced out by Radish. Newhook centering pass! What a save, Vasilevsky, with the opportunity in front of the net. Gouli will get there in the corner. 5 minutes to go here in the opening period. A giveaway at the blue line. Backhand shot blocked by Gouli into the corner. Girgensons now got it to Paul around the boards. Chernak will get it along the half wall into the corner. Forced off there, and Gouli on the backhand around the boards. Danault deflected it out to center ice, and Slafkovsky gets there first. Slafkovsky into the middle. Here they come, Demidov. Demidov in! Save made, Vasilevsky! What a stop on a 2-on-1. Wow. Lane Hudson got it ahead here. Suzuki's back in. He waits. He'll play it back here to the point. Struble one-time blast was faked there by Hudson. Shot blocked on the way through. And Point will skate it the other way. Carrying it back in. Got it to Gensel. Cross the ice into the middle. Radish, a nice move. Backhand pass in the middle in the crease. It was whacked at, and they could never put it home. Suzuki backhands that one out to center. It was just sitting there in the crease for the longest of times, and no one could get a stick on it. Radish got it. And that's Moser playing that. Radish deflected back into the corner. Trying to get there as first was Carrier. He did. Hagel bumps him in the corner. Tie up along the wall. It is played back here to the point for Lilleberg. Off the half wall, got it. Hagel plays it up top. Lilleberg shot, and they go whistled wide. Kucherov plays that back here to the line. It's held in by Dastu. Here's Kucherov. Nice pass. Lilleberg, and a save made. Sorelli installs it deep into the corner. Carrier tying up with Hagel. Kucherov stolen away there. Nicely there by Texier, and it's cleared. Dastu has it in his own zone. It's cleared out to center, fired back in from center ice by the Lightning, and Struble will get there first. Still scoreless here in Montreal, and a little bit of shoving afterwards, and we had a whistle for momentarily. Coming back in as Newhook, shot blocked on the way through as he lost the handle, and then he got it back. Here's Gonsalves the other way, carrying ahead. Great pass here for James. James on the outside, forced off by Jackeye. Around the boards, Evans has it in the corner, now on the half wall. And it goes to the opposite side. James gets there first against Jackeye, who takes him down. Gonsalves in behind the net now and drafted into the corner. They battle still in front of the net. Bjorkstrand plays that back. Chernak couldn't get the pass. Cleared out. And that looked like it should have been a penalty. And they don't call it. And enraged here is the Bell Center, as they took down one of the Montreal Canadiens players. Chernak will fire it back in with 2 minutes to go here in the opening period. A turnover. Across the ice pass. No one was there for the Lightning. Danault got ahead here for Demidov. Trying to make a move. He got through Lilleberg. Demidov centering pass. It was tied up in front of the net. And then falling down by himself. Here they come back in again. As forced off the boards. What a hit there along the boards on Girgensons. It's held in by Dastu though. Girgensons gets it in the corner. Around the boards here for Gord in the corner now. Gord off the backboards. Played it back here to the point for Dastu. Got it across here for Radish. His shot! Fired wide on the glove side. And then it is cleared out. A misplay. 80 seconds to go here in the first period. A fast opening period here in Montreal. And we get the whistle with 1:14 to go in the opening period of Game 6. Our intermission report coming up next here. We'll go over what's happening in the Boston and Buffalo game. Can Buffalo move on for the first time since 2007? Or will Boston force it to a Game 7 back in Buffalo? They won Game 5 to force it back to Boston in overtime. And then this chance here, man. by Demidov. Great opportunity. Could not bury. It was Texier and Kucherov tying up with each other, and they would not let go. That's right, it was a battle. The faceoff's favoring the Lightning 7-3 right now in the hockey game. This will be the 11th faceoff in the opening period. And Montreal wins this one. Carey has it in the corner, off the wall. Anderson trying to clear it out to center. Kicked it ahead here with Suzuki out of the reach. Radish took a bump there from Suzuki in front of his own bench, and Kucherov circles back. Turned it over at the blue line. Here's Caulfield now. He spins back. He waits for reinforcements and guns in behind the net now. Radish tied up with Suzuki as it's stolen away here, and Hagel backhands that one out to center ice. Caulfield intercepts at center. Matheson got it past and deflected. Suzuki got it back in. Off the skate of Radish. It is cleared out. Hagel got it poke checked away. Perry will backhand that one back into the corner. Carey will get it now. Stolen away along that wall by Perry. Trying to center one. Couldn't for Hagel. Point along the wall. Played it back here to the point. Long shot by McDonough was blocked out to center. McDonough has the puck and controls it. Point has to get back on side. Here's Chernak back in on the line. Fires, and a save made Dobish. He did not know where that puck was for a moment as he looked back. But Chernak with the opportunity with 16.3 to go in the opening period. He makes the stop. And everyone getting together after the whistle. Dobish with a good save there on Eric Chernak, and looking back was Dobish, and then Chernak was trying to see if the puck was behind him or not. 9-7, the shots favoring the Tampa Bay Lightning here in the opening period. Montreal leading this series 3-2. Will we go back to Tampa for a Game 7 on Sunday? That'll be the question. Point. And in the face-off win, Gooley flipped up in the air by Hudson out to center ice. It hit the scoreboard with 10.9 to go, and the face-off, I believe, will go back in the Montreal end. Or actually, it was a penalty. Gensel got a penalty on that. And what's the call here?
Number 59, 2 minutes for high sticking.
A high sticking call. I missed that completely. Oh, that is for sure a high sticking. I did not see that initially. And with 10.9 to go, a high sticking call by Gensel late in the period sends Montreal to the power play. 4th ranked in the playoffs right now on their power play with just below a 24% effectiveness in these Stanley Cup playoffs. Anaheim and Dallas were up there on the tops of the power play percentage and conversions. 5 for 21 in the series. Montreal in the series on the power play. The tie-up on the dot around the boards. Demidov looking at the center one. Safkovsky got it back here to the line. No one was there. And that'll do it for the first, but Montreal will have a power play when we return here for the second period. Scoreless after 20. And still, Tampa Bay has not been able to get the first goal of this game after 20. Wow. Slavkovsky, man oh man, he just played it back to the line as he missed the pass. John Cooper wants an explanation on why that was a penalty, and he's enraged by that. So, we'll be back. Our intermission report coming up next here on the NHL on MHS. We'll be back in just a moment as we'll go over what's happening here in Montreal. Sorry for that technical difficulty, but we are back here at the intermission report between the Montreal Canadiens and Tampa Bay Lightning. We are scoreless here in Montreal. Hello, everybody. We're back, everybody. As what an opening period there. A lot of chances, but no goals, obviously, as we're scoreless after 20. And let's go over the stats while we're at it here in this game, as the Montreal Canadiens had chances, Tampa Bay as well. Both teams had very good chances. Look at that. Scoreless, the shots were 9-7 in favor of the Tampa Bay Lightning after 20. But a power play late here for Montreal as they took a penalty. Jake Gensel for high sticking, Caden Goulet. And so that happens, and so Montreal will have a power play when we return. Let's give you an update from Buffalo right now. This game's happening right now. Power play for the Sabres. They are 7 minutes into the game 6. Boston must win to force it to a game 7. And right now, Buffalo's up 1-0 right now. They're 1 for their last 42 power plays, and Dahlin and see if they can score on their power play here, as they've only had one shot in the game. And Thompson had an opportunity, and Swayman makes a save. Anyways, back to our game here. We have 45 votes in our poll. 89% of them favor the Montreal Canadiens. So, I'm presuming they're Lightning fans. So, I don't think maybe we not see the Game 7 on Sunday. We'll see. We gotta have at least a Game 7 here in the opening round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. So what's the fun in not having one? Maybe it's not your own team. 26-15, the shots favoring the hits favoring Montreal. Very physical opening period here in Montreal. Giveaways 5-4 in favor of the Lightning. 7-5 the block shots favoring Montreal. Faceoffs are pretty dominant by the Tampa Bay Lightning. 61.5% have gone to the Lightning, and takeaways 2-1 in favor of Tampa Bay. So those are the stats after 20, and look at the series right now. So Minnesota getting their first playoff win, or first playoff series win in 11 years after they beat Dallas in the opening round in 6. And I think that might be a little bit of a shock to people. Minnesota has had a better season this year, and they played a better series throughout the whole series against the Dallas Stars. And Edmonton got eliminated by the Anaheim Ducks. So the Ducks are waiting the result of Vegas, Utah, and if Vegas wins their game tonight, it will be Anaheim versus the Golden Knights in the second round. And we already have 2 matchups confirmed with Minnesota, Colorado, and Philadelphia and Carolina. And if Buffalo wins, and if Montreal wins, it will be a Buffalo Sabres and Montreal Canadiens second round series. If not, if Tampa Bay and Boston come back, it will be Boston, Tampa Bay. Or we could have Buffalo, Tampa Bay, Montreal. Boston would be a better matchup. Boston and Montreal would be a good matchup. But the Buffalo Sabres are a wagon right now, and I wouldn't count them out right now. They are such a great team offensively, and they just got to get their power play working, or else it might cost them in this series against the Boston Bruins. David Pastrnak forced the series to a 6 game with an overtime win. Right now they're playing Game 6 at TD Garden. We'll give you an update after this little break we have right here. We'll be back, and we'll talk about more and what we're expecting to see here in the second period. welcome you back, everybody. As Montreal and Tampa Bay are scoreless. As welcome you back here inside our coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Hello, everybody. And scoreless. First intermission. And it should be interesting to watch how this game continues on, obviously, with Montreal and Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay had a very good chance, a lot of good shifts early on. Back in that first period, in the early stages where they were just dominant, they just kept continuing to press, and they didn't get a goal out of it. Then Montreal had post, and then it went the other way, and then the post the other way. It was just back and forth. Right now, we'll see what this power play does here for the Montreal Canadiens. They have been really good on the power play this postseason, and they can cash in here. It could be a huge one in whoever scores the opening goal of this game, because, man, oh man, it could be real interesting to see how Montreal can handle the lead here after they had blown that Game 4 lead where they're up 2-0 here in the second period in Game 4 at the Bell Center, and they blew that game and they lost 3-2. So it will be interesting what we're going to see here. Obviously, what's going to happen in the second period. We are scoreless after 20 minutes. If you just joined us, Tampa Bay and Montreal. Montreal leads the series 3-2. We'll be back in just a moment, and the puck drop for the second period coming up next year on the NHL and MHS. It is Game 6 between Tampa Bay and Montreal here at the Bell Center. We are back for the second period between the Lightning and the Canadiens. They're up 3-2 in the series, trying to close out the series right now. As we welcome you back, everybody. Bell Center, Game 6 between Tampa Bay and the Montreal Canadiens. Second period about to start here with a power play upcoming for the Montreal Canadiens. As we welcome you back, everybody. Hello, everybody. As we are back here with our coverage, and should be interesting to see how the Montreal Canadiens will do on this power play. 5 for 21 in the series. Gensel the penalty with the high sticking with 11 seconds remaining there in that first period. Buffalo right now up 2-0 into. Oh, what a save there by Lyon, who is robbing another series away from the Boston Bruins. James trying to hype up his bench to try to get them back in their play here. 2-0 Sabres in their Game 6, and right now, second period, we are scoreless, and we're about to be underway. As Cirelli and Suzuki in the face-off dot. The top line and top unit out here. As Caulfield gets the puck after the face-off win for the Montreal Canadiens at center. 1 minute and 45 to go on their power play to start this period off and potentially get a 1-0 lead to get this building soaring again. Suzuki, the pass is off the mark there for Caulfield along the boards. McDonough looks to clear one. It got knocked down, and then it's cleared down the length of the ice. Dobish, Montreal 1 for 12 in the last 3 games on the man advantage. They could really use one here. Suzuki back in, crossing the line. Demidov, that was barely onside. Hudson got it across Caulfield into the middle. Slavkovsky fired it wide as it hit the glass. Demidov plays that back. Demidov return pass from Hudson and a save made from Vasilevsky. Hudson got it across here for Demidov. Fires, deflected, it got blocked, and Gord clears it. Chances there for Montreal, and they couldn't deposit it in. 50 votes in our poll, 90% going to the Montreal Canadiens. Hudson carries it back in on the outside. Hudson carries it in. Can't get the shot away as he goes back to the line here. Doc mishandled at the line. Cirelli trying to get through and couldn't. And a battle for it along the vacant empty boxes as Hagel in shorthanded. Got it for Cirelli. Cirelli tried to make a move and couldn't. Off the skate of Newhook. He'll play that back here for Hudson with less than 20 to go on the man advantage. The second power play unit has been out there. Doc, a nice move. Got angled off there by Lilleberg. Nice defensive play there. And now Moser tried to settle the pass down. Couldn't. And the power play over for Montreal as they're 0 for 1 here in the hockey game. And so we're back to 5-on-5 here. 2 minutes into the second period of Game 6. We are still scoreless. Gensel, now Kucherov has it. Try to get that pass back to Gensel. Cleared out by Montreal. Radish will go back for the puck here, and he'll play it across for Dastu. And it's lost there. It's turned over at center. Backhanded back in by Deneau, but angled off there by Radish, who has the puck now. Shots are 9-8 in favor of Tampa Bay here in the game. Dastu carries it back in, crossing the blue line. Shot, and a save made with the glove by Dobish. Power play for Buffalo. Man, is Boston going to get driven out of their own building here in the first period if Buffalo scores another one? Man, they are not doing themselves a favor. They have played good road games. They've taken 2 out of 3 in Buffalo, the Boston Bruins, but they have lost the 2 that they played at home, and they might lose this one to get eliminated. They do not look good, and they had a very good home stretch at the end of the regular season. For Montreal fans, that's music to their ears. They don't want to face Boston. I mean, wouldn't it be interesting to see a Montreal-Boston series, though? I mean, those rivalries. Oh, man, those rivalries were the best back in the 2010s and even the late 2000s and even the early 2000s. That 02 series, 04 series. Montreal came back from a 3-1 deficit, I believe, in one of those series to win in 7. And I think that was the 04 series. And the Canadiens, their Cinderella run, kinda, in 02, beating Boston, who were the top seeds, and then they lost in 6. Goulet around the boards. Evans got it out to center, Deneau, and then Evans gets the puck back, playing that back here for Goulet. Cross it goes, as across the ice here. Here they come. Evans fires it around the boards. As McDonough tried to knock it down, Moser along the wall. Held in the zone, though. Knocked down by Evans near the glass, and Radish has the puck angled off Deneau. Gallagher trying to get there, and he could not. Gonsalves got it ahead, crossed the ice off the skate of Bjorkstrand, and so he couldn't settle the pass down. Goulet. We're more than 3 minutes into the second period of Game 6. We are still scoreless. Around the boards, Evans battles as he was tied up with Dastu. And it's deflected back in. No, it's not an icing. Thought for a second it might have been. Dastu. Stretch pass here. Hagel's back in. Cirelli trying to go across the ice here. Kucherov! And he fired it wide. Here's Suzuki the other way. 2-on-2 drop pass here. Caulfield shot right into the glove of Vasilevsky, who makes the stop and gets the whistle. End-to-end action here at the Bell Center. Wow. What an opportunity for both sides. As Kucherov's shot, oh my goodness, did that get a piece of something? I think it did. And then Caulfield right into the glove. Suzuki, Caulfield, and Slafkovsky have been held to zeros at 5-on-5 through this series, with goals and assists. They've made their mark on the power play, though. That's their spot. That's their place to create that magic. They really didn't get much of that on their power play opportunity earlier on in the period. Anderson off the boards here. Suzuki got it in behind the net now. And then Chernak deflected it out. And Cirelli trying to battle through to get to the loose puck. But Suzuki establishes body position there. Gets taken down in front of the Tampa Bay bench. And Hagel kind of ran over him. And Montreal wanted the penalty out of that. McDonough has it on the backhand. Got it to the forehand as Kucherov up in the air, knocked down by Suzuki. Got it ahead here for Anderson. He'll carry it ahead. Carrier with Anderson. Drop pass here for Caulfield. He missed the net. Trying to go top corner and he missed the net. Oh my. What an opportunity. Cirelli played it back to Vasilevsky, who covers the puck. Oh, what a chance for Cole Caulfield, who has had multiple chances here in the hockey game, and he hasn't been able to bury one. This was a 2-on-1, but then Hagel got back in the trailer with Caulfield, and that was labeled for the top corner, and I think he just plain out missed it. Oh, that might have graced the outside of the post, too. Wow, what an opportunity for Cole Caulfield, and he could not bury it. He's had multiple chances here in the second period, and he hasn't been able to bury one. Off the draw, Dastu gets it in the corner, round the boards, and it's Gergenson's moving it ahead. Gord trying to get there, now Paul in behind the net. Playing it back here, Lilleberg shot deflected down low in front of the net, it goes into the corner. Paul will get there first as he's tied it with Deneau. Gouli. Paul lost it along the wall. Carried ahead here by Demidov. Nice stick handling there to punch it ahead. Now it's almost turned over to the Deneau. And then Demidov off the intercept as Dastu couldn't get the pass. Around the board, Slafkovsky out of the reach, and Gord will get there first. Angling him off along the wall. Paul. And now they battle for it. Comes free Slafkovsky. Shot blocked on the way through by Deneau. Gouli will get it in the corner. As they'll play that back here to the line where no one is there, and now race for the puck. Hudson gets there first. Or else it would have been a 2-on-1 for Tampa Bay the other way. Gord plays that back. Radish through the middle of the ice. Got it to Perry, who fires it back in from the blue line. Knocked down by Dobish. Played it to Hudson in the corner. Fed in behind the net. Now Jack-Eye trying to clear. Couldn't. Radish the long shot. Blocked. Rebound loose in front. And it continues to roll off the goal line. It's cleared out. And now a race for the puck. It will be an icing. Oh, what a chance. Right at the goal line. An incredible stop to keep it out and keep it scoreless. And I think Deneau saved the goal. This rebound just bounced, and oh my, Deneau saved that right at the goal line. My goodness. Unbelievable. Incredible there by Deneau, who keeps the puck out and rallies this crowd here at the Bell Center. What a stop by Deneau there to keep the puck out and keep it outside of that goal and not cross that goal line. Wow. Close call there for Tampa Bay, though. Gensel off his skate, centering pass in front, shot, and Radish missed it. Moser's shot through traffic was blocked on the way through, and here comes Hudson the other way, playing it back into his own zone as he circled back. Got it across the ice, and it's going to be another icing here on the Montreal Canadiens as Perry and Hudson tie up in front of the Tampa Bay bench. Update from Boston. It is 2-0 still in favor of the Sabres. That might have glanced off the crossbar there. Radish's opportunity. And Boston not looking good so far in their game. They're looking to battle back. They've battled back all series, it seems like. Moser has it at the blue line, playing that back here for Radish. Hagel back for Radish, fakes the shot, mishandled. Radish throws it towards the net. It got blocked into the corner. Hudson around the boards. Got it to Jackai along the wall. Texier has a penalty upcoming with 13:46 to go. And I think it's going on to Texier. And so Tampa Bay on the power play will get the opportunity. Wow. All that pressure, though. And so we'll be back. Tampa Bay with the power play coming up next. As a high stick on Texier. Welcome you back, everybody. And in this opening period, or in this second period right now, Tampa Bay going to get a power play in just a moment, and we'll see how that goes. Obviously, this camera right here, or the camera right here, intended for my broadcast partner. He's running a little late. Maybe he'll come in later on, probably in the second half of this game. So, probably see him in the third period, Owen, and our hockey expert. And we'll be back, and he'll probably be back here soon. And power play upcoming here, though, for the Tampa Bay Lightning. A 17.4% effectiveness, 6th ranked power play in the playoffs. And so they have an opportunity to get a power play goal in the lead. Texier for a high sticking, misplay off the draw, and we get a reset. Shots are 12-9 in favor of the Lightning. And they're 4 for 23 in the series. They had that huge goal. I believe that was Kucherov in game 2. Radish has it at the blue line. Got it to Gensel now. Down low it goes at the goal line. Point in behind. Kucherov, one-time blast. Broke the stick of Radish. It's Gensel now who has the puck. Dropping it off here for Hagel. Drifting. Mishandled the pass. Hagel regains the puck. Across the ice, Kucherov. The pass for Radish. Forced out as they're not connected right now on the power play. Kucherov now to Hagel, carrying it back in. Drop pass here, Kucherov, and then it's stolen away here. And maybe a shorthanded opportunity here, 3-on-2. Here's Carrier now, shot over the net. A shorthanded bid for the Canadiens. 7 minutes have passed here in the second period, and we are still scoreless. Radish got it, and here's Point. Across the ice. Here's Gensel. Dropping it off for Kucherov. Gensel in the corner has it. Off the half wall. Kucherov back to Gensel. Return feed. Kucherov. Kucherov looking. Waits. Got it to Gensel again. Into the middle. Point off his skate. And cleared out by Anderson. 50 seconds to go on the power play for Tampa Bay. Radish has the puck. Playing that back here. As a Gensel, the drop pass here for Kucherov back into the zone. Nice move by Kucherov. Got it to Gensel. It's offside. With 37 to go on the power play. Nothing connecting, though, on that Tampa Bay power play. Right now in the Buffalo game, it is 2-0 still in favor of the Sabres over the Bruins. And some nice defending here by the Montreal Canadiens shorthanded. Faceoff will be outside the Canadiens blue line, and Evans is going to take the draw here. 56 votes in our poll, 91% going to Montreal. Paul and Evans in the faceoff. Dot stolen away off the draw by Gonçalves, even though Evans had won the faceoff for the Canadiens. James gets pressured at the blue line, got it to Dastu, who has to settle the puck down. Dastu along the wall. Gonçalves plays that back. Dastu, the long shot deflected. It was blocked on the way through. Backhanded off the glass and cleared down the length of the ice by the Canadiens. Goulet with the clearance. Vasilevsky got it to Dastu now. 10 seconds to go on the power play for Tampa Bay. Paul, the drop pass for James, carrying it back in. Got it to Paul, and then mishandling that one. Power play is over. They're 0 for 1, and it's sent down the length of the ice again. 11:40 to go in the second period, and we are still scoreless here in Montreal. Game 6. If Montreal wins, the series is over. If Tampa Bay wins, we go to a Game 7 in Tampa. Gord's back in on the backhand, deflected wide by Carey off the back of the cage now. It was stolen away from Slavkovsky. Suzuki trying to clear it, and Chernak realized too late that they could have held the puck in, and he could not. Suzuki in the corner around the boards. Gord tried to hold it in along the corner. Caulfield gave it away to Bjorkstrand in the corner. Bjorkstrand looking, half wall. Got it into the middle. Shot by Gergensen was blocked on the way through. Caulfield trying to clear it. It is held in momentarily by the Tampa Bay Lightning. And Hudson turned it over to Gergensen, who fires it back in. Around the boards, Gord tied up. Centering pass was knocked away by Slavkovsky, and here they come the other way. Cole Caulfield off the boards, got it into the Tampa Bay zone. 12-10, the shots favoring Tampa Bay. Moser got it ahead here. Kucherov poke checked out the center. Radish fires it back in from the blue line. Played by Dobish. And in the corner, Goulet banked it off the backboards for Matheson. And here come the Canadiens, 2-on-1. Here's Kirby Dach in. Dach waits, and he tried to center. It was blocked. What a diving play by Radish as he blocked the passing lane. Texier in the corner. Shifts around there. Plays that back to the line. Matheson, the long shot. Save! Vasilevsky up in the air. Open net. It was blocked. Moser got it to Kucherov. Moser back into the zone. Halfway through the second period. Kucherov has some room. Got it across in the middle. Littleberg fired it wide. And Dach trying to clear it off the boards. They do at the center. Here's Texier trying to settle the pass down. It's offside. Oh, man, that could have been a breakaway for Texier, and he could never handle the puck on a bouncing one. What a chance on both ends. What a sliding play by Radish, and a stick save as well by Vasilevsky. And this one up in the air hit the shoulder of Hagel, and it was knocked away by Radish. What two great plays by Radish there on that shift. We'll be back with 9:35 to go. We welcome you back here to Montreal at the Bell Center. And in our poll, 62 votes, 90% of them have gone to the Montreal Canadiens, 10% for the Lightning. So type in the chat if you're a Habs fan or Tampa Bay fan. We're glad you have tuned in with us here in this Game 6 between the Lightning and the Canadiens. The Canadiens with a 3-2 lead in the series, trying to close it out here tonight at the Bell Center. Wouldn't it be something? And I think the NHL and MHS has a thing for scoreless games in Game 6s right now, because our last game we covered, Flyers and Pittsburgh, it was scoreless going into overtime. This has a good chance to go to overtime scoreless again. I might have just jinxed it, but man, oh man, it's just feeling like that type of game, and how tight this series has been. It's been decided by a goal. I mean, it'd be the common theme, wouldn't it be? Off the face-off, Danault, tie up. Danault has it in behind his own net. Got it to Demidov as he'll move it ahead. Backhanded back in, way offside. It will come Montreal. They do touch it up with 9:24 to go, and it will be whistled down on an offside. 12-11, the shots favoring the Tampa Bay Lightning. And in our game, scoreless here in Montreal, as either Montreal moves on or we go to a Game 7. Given a Game 7 so far in these playoffs, if Buffalo holds on, they might not even need a Game 7 in their series against Boston if they don't come back. In this series, Tampa Bay just trying not to get out of the first round again for the 4th consecutive season. Off the face-off, and Canadiens win it. Goulet fires it back in. Moser in the corner, tied up. Got taken down, Anderson. Moser got pucked back, and it's held in at the line here by Goulet. Off the boards, Demidov angled off by Radish as he was getting bodied there. And here's Gensel on a 2-on-1 with Point. Gensel in, got it to Point. No! Hudson denied it. What a play defensively. They stretched ahead, and Anderson deflected it. They say that was icing. I thought Anderson got a deflection on it, but he did not with 8:55 to go in the second period. And the chance there on another 2-on-1 and a great stick there by Hudson to cover the pass from Gensel. What a play defensively. Getting back was Demidov, or Hudson, pardon me. Less than 9 to go in the second. Eastern Conference quarterfinals, and the Montreal Canadiens with a 3-2 lead in the series. Welcome you back in, and please tune in with us. Share the stream around, obviously. This could be a good game, obviously. It's already been a good game. Still scoreless here at the Bell Center. Here in Montreal, with the shots being 12-11 in favor of the Tampa Bay Lightning. And it's Cirelli and Danault in the face-off dot. The tie-up, and Danault wins the draw. But angled off the boards there by Cirelli to hold it in along the half wall. It is cleared out by Montreal. Chernak has it, intercepted at the line almost by Danault. He'll go for a change. McDonough off his skate to his stick. And it's Hagel across the ice here for Kucherov. Nice move on Caulfield. Kucherov plays that back. Long shot. Save made. Dobish. Rebound comes to McDonough. Into the corner. Kucherov looks to center one. And Matheson intercepted along the wall. Cleared out by Suzuki. McDonough off the wall there. And it's ahead now for Hagel back in. Hagel's shot was blocked by Carrier. Slavkovsky has it along the half wall and will carry it ahead. Got it. Suzuki dumped back in with the blue line. Slavkovsky will get it along the half wall, or tried to at least. Cirelli will move it ahead here for Destu. Drop pass here for Hagel. He's got a man open across the ice here for Kucherov. Playing that back from the line. Shot wide of the net. And that deflected. I'm not sure where that went. 7:53 left to go here. It might have been offside. I'm not sure. Kucherov frustrated. Most points after a playoff loss. Kucherov with 81. He's 2 behind Mark Messier in NHL history with 83. Doug Gilmour with 93. And Wayne Gretzky with 111. And he's already played more than 10 minutes, Kucherov, and only 1 shot on goal here in the hockey game. 3 games tonight, all Game 6s. See if all 3 of them end here tonight. And then round 2, game 1 between the Flyers and the Hurricanes start tomorrow. Lilleberg has it on the backhand as he has it in the corner now. Struble tripped him up a little bit there. They don't call it, and Gallagher will move it ahead. And he gets pressured, and Jack-Eye fires it back in. No icing, played by Vasilevsky along the wall. Intercepted along the half wall there. It goes into the corner. Gallagher. Deneau couldn't get there in time. Bjorkstrand does. And Gonsalves trying to clear it, and he does as he'll move it ahead. Gonsalves charging the rush here. He got it to James now. James, a shot and a save made. Dobish from the circle with 7:17 to go, and the pushing and shoving afterwards. And Jack-Eye and James with the stare down. And James want a piece of Jack-Eye here, as the linesman separating them. Jesse Marquise and Andrew Smith, the linesman. And Francis Chiron and John McIsaac, the referees in tonight's game. For this game number 6. Man, have we had a lot of overtimes here in this series. 3 consecutive games where they had overtimes in the first 3. And we haven't had overtime since, but it's felt like overtime in all 5 games. Past 2 have been 1-goal decisions in regulation. And we are scoreless here with 7:17 left to go here in the middle frame here at the Bell Center. Kirby Dach and Nick Paul in the face-off dot on the blocker side of Dobish. And reset as Dach will get kicked out of the face-off dot. And in his place will be Bolduc. 14-11. Shots favoring Tampa Bay. Off the draw. One here by the Lightning. McDonough got it to Gord now. Shot deflected and a save made as Dobish got a piece of it on the deflection. Paul now has it in the corner. Spins back on Hudson. Paul spins again on Hudson. He plays that back. Gord the shot! Fired wide. Now he got a piece of Dobish's blocker there. Texier trying to clear it. He does out to center ice. And now that pass ahead off the skate of Paul, who fires it back in from the blue line. And around the boards, a big check thrown there by Girgensons. Girgensons trying to get to the loose puck at the side of the cage. Couldn't. And now Hudson gets to the loose puck now. Plays that back into his defensive zone. And it's Gooley. Clears it out. Deflected it ahead. A 2-on-1. Bolduc and Dach. Bolduc and a save made! Vasilevsky coming up big on another 2-on-1. Gensel got it to Moser. Moser back to Gensel. Bounced up in the air. Gensel looks to center. And Paul couldn't get the stick on it. Radish now to Paul. One-timer that got blocked. Oh my goodness. What incredible action here at the Bell Center. Fired back in with 6 minutes to go in the second period. Moser in behind his own net. Got it to Gensel. Flipped it into the middle. Here's Point now, carrying it back in. Near his own blue line, got it on the backhand. Here's Dastu, the long shot, and a glove save by Dobish with 5:49 to go. We will be back. The Bell Center rocking once again. We are still scoreless here in Montreal, as the chance there for Bolduc was denied by the blocker of Vasilevsky. We'll be back. Steve Tobias in our chat just said, "Go Mighty Canucks, number 1 draft pick in 2026." Well, that's something to cheer about. We're back here in Montreal, a 3-2 series lead for the Canadiens over the Tampa Bay Lightning. And the crowd in Montreal giving it to Kucherov throughout the whole night. Even the kids are getting at it now on Kucherov. Man, oh man. Kucherov in this series with a goal and 5 assists, 6 points in this series through 5 games. We're still scoreless here at the Bell Center with 5:49 to go in the second period. The type of games you love to see, where it's just tight and there's no room. There is room sometimes, but the goalies are having a goalie battle right now. Off the draw, one here by the Lightning. Cirelli, Moser played that back. Radish alongside, deflected on goal, and Dobish deflects it into the corner. Here's Hagel playing that back. Moser fires! Blocked on the way through off a skate. Another shot, Radish, it got blocked again. Played back here to the point. Hagel, Wake fans on the shot. Got it to Radish. The long shot got blocked by Moser on the way through as he was tied up by Demidov. Off the backboards, got it to Matheson along the half wall. Forced there by Cirelli off the puck. Kucherov, pressure from behind here. They all tie up in the corner around to the opposite side. Anderson trying to get there. Radish couldn't hold it in. Hagel does instead. Goes in behind the net now. As now it's Carrier with the loose puck. Trying to move it ahead, and Demidov will clear it out to center. Here's Anderson now with a cutter on the other side. One time couldn't go there. As it was on the other side, wide open for Jake Evans, but the pass was deflected. Back in on side is Hudson. Around the boards it goes with less than 5 to go in the second period. Stolen away along the wall by Suzuki for a moment, and Kucherov will move it ahead through the middle. That pass off the mark as they were going for a line change, and here's Hudson now with the puck. Carrying it ahead and got the pass ahead here for Slafkovsky. Nice move at the blue line. Slafkovsky looks to center one and deflected into the corner. Here's Gord now. In behind his own net. Try to stretch it ahead here for Girgensons, and it couldn't go, and no icing there as it was waved off. Hudson in behind his own net. We'll move it towards the front, and we'll get it ahead here. Gooley, Suzuki deflected it back in. Vasilevsky out to play it in behind his own net. That one given away along the boards for a moment as Suzuki dives to get to the loose puck, and he does. Slafkovsky played it back to the point. One turn by Jack Guy and a save made. Rebound! And Suzuki couldn't get the rebound. 98.5 mile per hour shot by Jack Guy, and it was a big pad save there by Vasilevsky with 3:51 to go. What a ripper by Jack Guy. And somehow it remains scoreless still. Oh my. The velocity on that shot. Wow. 29 shots combined here in the game. No score. Off of skates, it bounces out to center. McDonough got it out. Will that be another icing? No. Dobish will play it. Jack-Eye has the puck now. Gallagher into the middle. Intercepted by James as deflected. Here's Bjorkstrand. Nice move as he got through Struble. Around the boards it goes to the point. Held in by Destu. That shot was blocked and then held back in and behind the net now for James. Around the boards it goes as Gallagher tied up with Destu as he gets hit in the corner. And Newhook will flip it up in the air and out to center and handled by Destu for a moment. Gallagher trying to move it ahead, and they will. Back in onside. Here's Deneau. Deneau looking. Deneau on the outside, and then Gallagher and Deneau collide in behind the old net, and there's a penalty upcoming. And it's going against Tampa Bay.
I think to the net.
51.
But the
Destu slashes, and Montreal to the power play. Man, Deneau just driving to the net, ran out of room. And, man, oh man, what an opportunity here. 0 for 1 on the power plays Montreal. Destu for slashing, and so a power play. And the Bruins are on the board now. Hold on. It's not over yet in Boston. Off the draw. Around the boards it goes into the corner for Caulfield, who holds it in around the boards. Knocked down by McDonough. Around the boards trying to clear it out. And they will. Pastrnak scores third of the series. Most on the team for the Bruins. So they're back in their game 6 at TD Garden. Here's Caulfield. The drop pass. Here for Suzuki carrying it back in. Got it to Caulfield along the half wall. Playing it back off the boards here for Slavkovsky. Caulfield in the corner has it. Playing it back. Here's Hudson. Got it to Caulfield. Return feed here for Hudson. Caulfield again. Down low it goes as Suzuki fires and it goes wide and out of play. That might have ramped off a stick in front, I believe. Let's see. That went off a Chernak's stick, or maybe got a piece of Vasilevsky as well. And it went out of play. Minute and 20 left to go in the power play here for Montreal with 2:25 to go in the period. Tense moments here in the big power play opportunity for the Canadiens. Suzuki and Gord in the face-off dot. Tie up and Suzuki won it. Played back here to the point for Hudson. Suzuki along the wall. Gets pressured there. Slavkovsky drop pass. Hudson fakes the shot. Slavkovsky got it to Suzuki. Down low. Caulfield couldn't get the pass. And off the glass, it's cleared by the Lightning. Too many passes there for Montreal. With a minute left to go on their power play. And with 2 minutes left to go here in the second period. Suzuki through the middle. Carries it back in. The drop pass Demidov. Around the boards and easily there. Cleared down. No, held in by Demidov. What a keep in the zone. Caulfield shot. Save made near the goal line. Big save by Vasilevsky. 100 seconds to go in the period. The battle along the boards continues as they hack and whack at it with half a minute to go on the power play for the Montreal Canadiens. Here's Hudson. Got it to Caulfield. Down low Suzuki. Cross the ice. Demidov. What a save. Rebound. What a save on the rebound. What a stop. Vasilevsky with the glove on the rebound. How did he make that stop? That's highway robbery. Unbelievable. How did he get it with the glove on the rebound? That's unbelievable. First the pad save on Demidov, then the rebound. Unbelievable stops by Andrei Vasilevsky. And that's the type of Andrei Vasilevsky we've seen in the playoffs past. Unbelievable. With the glove. 19 to go on the power play. The shots are even at 16. Oh my. A minute and 25 to go in the second period. And the face-off won by the Lightning. Chernak and Hagel clears it down the length of the ice. Power play not working out here for Montreal as they got robbed there. That opportunity was an incredible stop on Demidov. And the power play comes to a close. A minute left to go on the minute left to go in the period here for these two teams. And Jack-Eye dropped it off. Matheson, the long shot that got blocked on the way through. Bolduc, tough angle. To the opposite side it goes. Here's Carrier at the point, holding it in the corner. Texier got it in behind the net now for Doc. Playing that back here. Doc gets the puck back. Fires! Save made! Looks for a rebound. Bolduc's parked in front. Here's Matheson. One-timer blocked by Destu. Played back here to Matheson. Matheson looking. Waits. Continues to wait. Fires! Blocked on the way through. Loose puck in front. And Bolduc will play that back to the line for Carrier. Matheson now trying to hold it in, and he's forced out by Destu. What a play there by Destu in the mix of change. Matheson back in the zone. Carries it back in, and a nice poke check by Cirelli. And Hagel will clear it out to center. What chances here for the Canadiens late in the period. Matheson. Stretch pass here. Here's Evans back into the zone. Evans, great pass in the middle. Backhand! What a save again! Vasilevsky, a big one there at the end of the period. What a period for Andrei Vasilevsky. And we remain scoreless through 40. The backhand bid by Danault stopped off the stick of Vasilevsky. Wow. What a period for Andrei Vasilevsky. And remember that if Tampa Bay wins this game and forces it to a Game 7, if they win it, remember those saves. We will be back in just a moment with our intermission report coming up next. Third period after our intermission report. This will be a good third period. Welcome you back here to our intermission report as we remain scoreless here in Montreal. Hello, everybody. I'm Max. Glad you can be with us here on our coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs, and we have 80 viewers right now, so continue to share that stream around, and hope we can get to a high amount of viewers because this is going to be a very good third period. We remain scoreless here in Montreal, and here are the stats. 17-16, the shots favoring the Montreal Canadiens right now at the moment, and right now in Game 6 between the Bruins and the Sabres. The Bruins just got close to tying the game up, and they scored here in the second period, and Pasternak with that goal mentioned earlier. And to see if the Bruins can make a comeback here on the Sabres and force it to a Game 7 in Buffalo. That'd be something, huh? Boston struggled to score at home in this series. They've only scored 2 home goals as of right now. They scored one in Game 3. They scored one in Game 4, and they scored one here in Game 6. Actually 3 right now at the moment. But heading into the game, it was only 2. But in our game, 17-16, the shots favored the Canadiens. The shots in that second period were in favor of the Montreal Canadiens by 3, 10-7. It's been tight game, very tight game. Montreal has played a great game. They had a really good power play. They created some very big, great opportunities and unbelievable stops by Andrei Vasilevsky. I don't know how he stopped those shots. The hits after the second period are in total in the game right now 35-26. So it's been a very physical game. We expected that, obviously. And the giveaways 11-10 in favor of the Canadiens. Takeaways 3-2. And power plays 0 for 2 for the Canadiens, 0 for 1 for Tampa Bay. And really not much to update here, obviously, because we do not have any goals. I mean, the only thing we can really talk about, I'm just trying to see what's going on in the other game, but there's nothing. So, right now, Montreal just had all the opportunities late in that period, and Andrei Vasilevsky looks like his 2020-2021 self right now. When they won those cups, wow, he looked incredible in that late stages of the second period. That's unbelievable. He's made some saves. It's just I don't know how he got the first chance on I believe it was Hudson or Demidov. It was Demidov actually. Demidov robbed once with the pad, and then he gets robbed again with the glove on the rebound. It's just unbelievable, incredible stops, and that's why Andrei Vasilevsky was one of the biggest factors in why the Tampa Bay Lightning won those back-to-back cups back in 2020 and 2021, and he wants to be a reason again to doing that once again. We'll be back, everybody, with our intermission report continuing on here on the NHL and MHS. We're back, everybody. Intermission report. I'm sorry, I had to take care of something while I was doing that. Yes, it is intermission. To answer your question in the chat, welcome you back, everybody, as we are scoreless here in Montreal through 40, and we are still scoreless. And the last game I did, Flyers Penguins game 6, it was scoreless through 40. We might have a repeat here. I wouldn't mind overtime, you know? I wouldn't mind overtime or even a double overtime. But in this series, the overtimes have ended quickly. And let's actually look at that. We're going to actually look at the stats here. Montreal won game 1 pretty early because they had the overtime winner like a minute or so in, a minute and a half in to OT. A minute and 22, yeah. And then, let's see, game 2, how long? I went like 7 or 8 minutes. Yeah, around 7, 8 minutes. And then this one ended pretty quickly. I think the Lane Hudson one where he just ripped it. That was 2 minutes and 9 seconds. So we haven't gone to very long overtimes in this series. It has been pretty quick. Except for that game 2, which was almost half of overtime. Right now in Boston, it is still 2-1. In favor of the Buffalo Sabres in Game 6. They're out shooting the Bruins 16-11. Boston scored early on in the second period with David Pasternak's goal. We'll see if they can get some momentum here and try to tie this game up after being down 2-0 early on. Now they get an intercept. Maybe they do tie it right here. No, they won't right now, at least for the moment. No, Kaslik just fired that wide. I'm watching both the games right now. And the Bruins just trying to force this back to a Game 7. This series could honestly go 7, but we'll see how this goes. This third period, huge coming up. It is a huge third period coming up here for both teams, obviously. The next goal could honestly win this game, and if it belongs to Tampa Bay, we go to a Game 7 on Sunday. If not, Montreal, if they get the next goal, they are getting closer to go into the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. They'll either face Buffalo or Boston. In the second round, it all depends. We'll see. We could have all our matchups here in the second period finalized by tonight. We will see, obviously, as Montreal had some glorious chances. I just cannot speak how great Vasilevsky was in that late stages of the second period, basically on that power play. And in the 2-on-1s, the odd man rushes that Montreal had in that second period, they had a lot of chances. Odd man rushes, great opportunities, all big saves by Vasilevsky has kept the Tampa Bay Lightning alive here in the game. Montreal could honestly have been scoring 3 or 4 at this point. But we remain scoreless here at the Bell Center, and a big third period coming up. And you got to know Tampa Bay is going to be playing better than they did in that second period because Montreal, at some points in that second period, were dominating with offensive opportunities. The power play sure helped. But man, oh man, what a third period we got here in Montreal. We're going to see how this turns out, obviously. I'll give you another update on what's happening. It's still 2-1 Buffalo in Boston. And see if the Bruins can come back with less than 5 minutes to go in the second period there. And we'll see how this game ends. I mean, we could honestly oversee overtime here. We might get to the record of the 1993 that was set. 1993 was when 28 overtime games happened. Right now we're at 12. I believe we had 12 overtime games. 11 to 12 overtime games right now. So, and 3 of them have gone to double overtime in the first round. Man, don't you love playoff hockey? No, not really, because Dallas got eliminated. But anyways, but the amount of overtimes as a hockey fan, you've got to love playoff overtime. We'll be back, everybody, with the third period coming up next. A huge third for both teams. It seems like the next goal is going to win it. Who gets the next goal. We'll be back, everybody. Welcome you back, everybody, to the third period between the Canadiens and the Tampa Bay Lightning. As the third is about to start with the series lead belonging to the Montreal Canadiens. I welcome you back in, everybody. I'm Max, and we're going to have a big third period here between these two teams that have played pretty even throughout the whole series, and I don't think it's going to change at all. Alice was supposed to show up earlier, but probably won't come unless there's an overtime. Maybe he will come during the overtime. We'll see, obviously. But a big third period coming up here in Montreal. See who gets the first goal here, honestly. I don't know at this point who was even going to get a goal in regulation. Paul, and it's Suzuki in the faceoff dot at center ice for the third period. We're underway. Suzuki won the draw, and Gooley deflected it back in the Tampa Bay zone. McDonough got it ahead as it deflected ahead by Gord off the stick of Dobish. Got it now to Hudson. And now carried back in here, Suzuki along the wall. Got blocked dead as he was trying to send it in deeper. Couldn't. Hudson got it to Gooley now. Fired back in. Round the boards, it's Vasilevsky. Slowing it down here for McDonough in behind the net. McDonough off the boards. Got ahead here for Hagel. Carrying it back in on the outside. Hagel looks across the ice. One-timer wide by Kucherov as a big hit occurred along the boards. Danault fires it back in from the blue line. Vasilevsky slowed it down in behind the net. Moser and Demidov trying to get there, and here they come the other way as Hagel got ahead, lost it. Newhook plays that back. Or pardon me, Anderson played that back to Matheson. And more than a minute in to the third period. Deflected in to the corner. In behind the net now, Danault. Moser around the boards, and it's flipped out to center once again. Gloved down here by Carrier, but then lost in Gonsalves, and then the stretch pass will be an icing here instead for the Tampa Bay Lightning. And so the faceoff will go back into the Lightning zone. Still 2-1 in Boston right now. So that period about to end soon. Could have the matchups here in just after today. And at least in this series, if Montreal does win, what a hit by Anderson on Hagel. That Kucherov one-timer just fired wide. Share the stream around, everybody. A big third period here. As face-off here, won by Newhook, and Struble could not hold it in at the point. Forced back into the Montreal zone. Jack-Eye has the puck now, and he'll look to carry it ahead. Got the pass now out of the reach of Gallagher. He steals it away along the wall. Gallagher backhand pass! What a save, Newhook on a chance there. And Struble got it in behind the net now, Newhook. Now played back along the wall, Gord. Gallagher holds it in, trying to fire it in deeper for Evans, who was parked in front of the net. Lilleberg angled off along the boards as they battle for it in front of the Montreal bench. They want a penalty, and they won't get it. Montreal will move it ahead as they carry it back in. Doc along the wall, forced at the blue line by Braden Point. Corey Perry trying to jam the puck free, and it's forced out to center. 2.5 has passed here in the third period. Vasilevsky plays that here for McDonough. Ryan McDonough got it for Chernak, and the deflection back into the zone. Braden Point will get to the loose puck first. Doc will battle for it. Tie up along the wall for the puck. It comes free for Gonsalves, taken down by Hudson. Gonsalves centering pass for Chernak, couldn't go, and now race for the puck here. It's Texier to the loose puck. Texier shot, and it hit the post again. Hits the iron for the third time in the game for both teams. A steal here, and Suzuki will get it in the corner. He's tied up, he gets taken down, and a centering pass, they try to jam at it. Slavkovsky, it's still loose, they jam, and it's covered. Oh, what an awkward play there as they just rolled at the side of the cage of Vasilevsky, and man, what an opportunity. Gallagher the centering pass, I believe, or the backhand shot away. And then Gallagher off the boards, throw the hit there, and Lilleberg, and man, oh man, the sandwich there on Lilleberg in front of the Montreal bench, and then Texier right off the post. And then Suzuki getting taken down awkwardly, and that puck was loose. Weird one. Off the draw, won by the Canadiens. Matheson along the wall. Played that in behind the net now. It goes for Anderson in the corner. 36-29, the hits favor in the Canadiens. Kucherov got it out to center ice as it was forced off as Matheson was trying to hold the line and he could not. Carried it ahead here. Along the wall, Anderson going across the ice. No one was there. Kucherov got it out to center ice. And Carrier's tied up in front of the Tampa Bay bench. Cirelli got it ahead now for Hagel. Forced off by Matheson. Demidov has the puck now. Dropped it off here for Matheson now. Third period between the Canadiens and the Lightning. Bell Center. And we are still scoreless, but a tense building here, and knowing whoever gets his first goal maybe win this game. Oh man, it is just that tense here, and that's what the Stanley Cup playoffs are all about. These tense moments are the best, and why it makes it the best playoffs ever in any sport. These are the type of the games on why the Stanley Cup playoffs are the best playoffs in any sport. Held in by Goulet at the line. Goulet shot, blocked away by Vasilevsky. He thought it went out of play. It's in behind the net. Caulfield, Savkovsky trying to get the pass. Caulfield gets there. Suzuki plays that back to the line. Long shot, deflected by Hudson. And Gergensen's taken down along the wall as Moser almost lost it to Suzuki. And Chernak in behind his own net. Flips it out to center. Tried to at least. Hudson holds it in. Lane Hudson crossed the ice. Shot! And it went wide! Oh, what an opportunity. Comes in front again. Hudson shot! Wide again! Oh, my goodness. Two glorious opportunities. Stolen away here. Here's Gensel in! And a save made Dobish! A slashing call. And Tampa Bay to the power play. And Gensel thought that should have been a penalty shot. And I thought it was. Hudson takes the slashing call. Wow. What a save by Dobish. What a save there to keep it scoreless, but Tampa Bay to the power play. Savkovsky.
But now you lose control of the puck, Gensel.
Gensel, man. Oh, man. A giveaway by Goulet. And a very bad penalty to take there, and Martin St. Louis just looks at the bench. Martin St. Louis is just like, wow, really? Slashing at 5:11 on Goulet. And so, with a power play late for Tampa Bay in the third period, 14:49 to go. They're 0 for 1 with no shots on the power play. Off the draw, the tie-up in the dot. They battle for it, and Hagel has possession off the draw. In behind the net now is Point in the corner. Got it to Kucherov along the half wall. In the corner now, Gensel waiting. Cross the ice, trying to go backdoor for Hagel. Radish holds it in. Kucherov down low. Gensel in the corner. Bobbles a puck there. Carrier's tied up in the corner. And now Kucherov cross the ice. Radish a one-timer wide. And Kucherov holds it at the line. Kucherov waits down low. Gensel in the circle. Gensel down low again here for Hagel. Hagel looking. Patiently waiting for a lane. Got it to Gensel. Back up top. Kucherov. Radish. Kucherov fakes the one-timer. Got it to Gensel once again. Gensel across the ice. Radish! Fan on the shot. Hagel. Gensel. Kucherov now. High slot. Kucherov shot! Off the post! Kucherov again at the blue line. Waits. Kucherov spins. Try to get the pass. And Gensel has it now. Drifting away from the circle. Kucherov in the circle now. Going back door. He got blocked on the way through. Bouncing puck in the slot. Not cleared out yet. Gensel holds it in. Gensel down low for Kucherov. He has Hagel back door. Gensel shot. Hot the post again. And it's cleared. 2 posts on the power play for the Lightning. Gensel. Kucherov holds it at the blue line. It's forced out to center. 2 posts. Man, oh man. And then the Canadiens crowd wanted a penalty. Gooley trying to clear, could not. Gensel, now Hagel. Gooley picks up the stick now. Radish, one turn by Kucherov and a save made. Dobish. And it's cleared down the length of the ice. Tampa Bay thought it was played via a high stick. And they don't get the call there, and they're enraged by that. Time ticking down on the power play as James dumps it into the corner in behind the net now. And the power play expires as Hudson tries to clear, could not, held at the line, long shot by Destu was blocked on the way through. Power plays over for Tampa Bay. Danault tried to stretch it ahead off the boards. Anderson shot, save made. Vasilevsky again. Gonsalves will carry it ahead, back into the zone. James waits, fires, save. Dobish. End-to-end action continues in Montreal, and we'll be back at the Bell Center with 12:29 to go in the third. We're still scoreless somehow. Every chance has been great. 2 posts for the Lightning on their power play. Gensel and Kucherov. Oh my, it's still scoreless. Back here to Montreal with 12:29 to go in the third. Now looking at the replay of that, point got high sticked, and that's why the Tampa Bay bench was enraged, and Hagel was yelling at the linesman and was telling him to calm down. And Kucherov was talking with John McIsaac there, and Gallagher got in the mix there as well, and that's a good one. It's a good game right now. Man, oh man. Third period. 12:29 to go, and it's bleeding. Braden Point's lip is bleeding. It's literally blood on his jersey. And John Cooper enraged by no call being made there by the referees. John Cooper still adamant on the bench. And that was actually a follow-through. He was trying to clear that puck, I think. I think that's the reason why they didn't call the play, because it did look like a follow-through. That's the only reason I can see and why it wasn't called. But Braden Point is bleeding, and no penalty called there, and so Montreal might have gone away with one. I think that was still a follow-through, so I don't think that would have been a penalty regardless. I think that's still a good call by the referees not to call that. Matheson turned it over. Kucherov, and Hagel actually got the wraparound attempt there. And save made by Dobish. Hagel gets it free now. High slot shot. Blocked. Matheson now in behind his own net. Almost turned it over to Hagel. Backhanded out of the zone. And stretched ahead here onside. Anderson. Save! Vasilevsky again. And it's Radish through center. Carrying it ahead into the zone. Hagel, nice stutter step play. Kucherov, one-timer save. Dobish Cirelli back for Kucherov, and the pass is out of the reach. Man, what chances we've gotten here in this game. And we're still scoreless. 11:40 to go in the third. And here come the Lightning the other way. Dominic James crossed the ice. It was blocked away by Bolduc in a 3-on-2. Bolduc waits, fires, save! Vasilevsky again. And here come the Lightning the other way. Lilleberg trying to get through. He gets angled off along the boards. Gonzalez looks to center. And they deflected off the stick and wide of the net. And here's Gooley the other way. Angled off by Lilleberg. In behind the net, taken down, getting hooked there a little bit there. I'm going to call that late in regulation right now. As this Bjorkstrand carrying it ahead with 11 minutes left to go in the third period. Bjorkstrand drop pass here. Gonçalves shot blocked on the way through. What a block there. Gonçalves gets it back though. In the corner. His stick got slashed and they don't call it again. He wants a penalty and they're not calling anything. 24-21, the Shuts favoring Montreal. In the corner, they continue to dig at it. Cirelli around the boards. They try to get it around. They do. Chernak trying to get there. Bolduc forced it out. And Bolduc will fire it back in. Play by Vasilevsky with 10.5 to go in the third period. Man, oh man, this game's been tense. And I don't think it's going to get any more. It's not going to get relaxed anytime soon. Deflected back in. In behind the net, Matheson. Slips a pass ahead here for Slafkovsky. Caulfield's on the other side here. Slafkovsky carries it back in. Caulfield off his skate off the pass from Slafkovsky. Centering pass for Suzuki was out of the reach as Kucherov deflected it away. And here's Hagel. Back into the zone. Radish. Try to get into the middle. Radish. Poke checked out the center. And now a race for the puck here. Slafkovsky gets there. Perry forced off in the corner. In behind the net now. Into the corner. And then he got away there, but it's not cleared out yet. Madison holds it in along the wall. Caulfield has it, plays it back. Suzuki fires! It deflects into the corner. Not out of play as it hit the glass instead of the netting. And Perry got ahead here for Hagel. Gets angled off there at the blue line with a collision there. And here's Hudson dropping it off for Matheson with less than 9.5 to go in the third period of Game 6. We are still scoreless. As carried back in on side here by Jake Evans into the corner. In behind the net, Texier trying to get there on Gensel, couldn't, and Point will move it in the other way. Point got ahead now. Dastu fires it back in from the blue line around Gooley. Gensel almost intercepted along the wall. And out to center it goes. Bouncing puck settled down by Moser. And cleared out by Point out to center. Intercept here at center, and Evans got it to Demidov. Nice move, Demidov. Backhand! And it missed wide. Oh, what an opportunity for Demidov. Held in by Tampa Bay, though, as Paul gets it in the corner on the backhand. Paul waits. Paul, turnaround shot save. Rebound! Moser couldn't get the stick on it. And it's covered. And everyone fights in front, and Dobish got pushed over. And the helmets are off. With 8:33 to go. Oh boy, what a chance for the Lightning. Dobish got pushed over at the end of that. And Chernak and Anderson are tied up together. We'll see if there's any penalties out of this, I don't think. Wow. Paul and Moser were tying up someone else as well. And some helmets are off of players, and I don't know if we're getting any penalties out of this. Some big chances here in the third period. Vasilevsky and Dobish, again, being spectacular in net right now. And Moser with the open rebound, and he missed it with the stick trying to go backhand. Oh my goodness. It doesn't get any closer than that. We'll be back, everybody. Welcome you back here to Montreal with 8.5 minutes to go in the third. We are still scoreless, and this series is going to end pretty dramatically if the Montreal Canadiens win this game, or else Tampa Bay forces it to a Game 7, and these are the type of games that you like to see. Martin St. Louis was in a similar situation back in 2004 in the Stanley Cup Final. Head coach of the Montreal Canadiens, but he was on Tampa Bay, and they were down 3-2 to Calgary in their series in the Stanley Cup Final. He scored the double overtime winner in Calgary at the Saddle Dome to force it to a Game 7, and the Lightning won that series in 7 to win their first Stanley Cup. So obviously, he's seen stuff like this, and he does not want a type of Martin St. Louis goal in double overtime like he did in Game 6 in 2004 by the Lightning in the current era, to have this happen and send this series to 7. Welcome you back in. We're scoreless still. We have not had a goal, and we have 4-on-4 off of the penalties off that scrum after the cover up by Dobish on an incredible stop in front. The wave starting here at the Bell Center as Hudson has the puck 4-on-4. Drop pass here, and Suzuki will carry it ahead through the middle. 4-on-4 we play for less than 2 minutes. Hudson 1-on-4 shot. Got fanned on into the corner. Littleberg got across here for Hagel. McDonough has the puck now and got it to Hagel now. Hagel crossed the ice, and Littleberg will circle back into his own zone. Got it to Hagel once again. He's got it cutting. Dastu back in and fires. It was blocked. Dastu gets it in the corner now. He's got Rash on the other side. Instead gets it to Hagel. Hagel on the backhand, looking, blue line. Hagel looking still. He's pressured by Suzuki at the blue line. Drop pass, Radish, shot, and then whistled wide. It's loose. Dobish covers. It wasn't wide. It hit him. He didn't know where that puck was. I didn't know where the puck was. And he stopped it with 1:08 to go on the 4-on-4 and with 7:40 to go in the third. Wow. It was in between his legs while standing up. As Radish, it was deflected by Dastu. He didn't know where that puck was. He thought it went into the corner. No, it was covered up by Dobish. My goodness. 4-on-4 for a minute and 8, and with 7:40 to go in the third period, we remain scoreless still. 24-22 the shots favoring the Canadiens. And they lead the series 3-2 off the draw. Here is a pass by Kucherov, and it's shot blocked. Radish will go back for the puck with a minute left to go on the 4-on-4 with 7.5 to go in the third period. Radish will carry it ahead between the circles, now drifts away. Got it ahead now, Dastu on the outside looking into the middle. Kucherov, save made, rebound off the side of the net. Dastu with the opportunity, and he hit the side of the net. Radish, they're dangerous right now on 4-on-4. Centering pass for Gensel couldn't go. He steals it away, though. He got taken down, and there's no penalty. Carrier now. Got it ahead, Matheson into the zone. On the outside, Matheson forced off the play, and no one at the line to hold that one in, and Suzuki has the puck now for the Canadiens for the first time on their 4-on-4. Suzuki, with 10 seconds to go on the 4-on-4, drops it off. Gooley, another drop pass here for Slavkovsky. Carrying it back in on side. Slavkovsky, drop pass into the middle. Hudson trying to throw it on goal, and it's blocked away. Suzuki trying to get the backhand away with 6.5 to go. 4-on-4 is over. We return to full strength. Held in the zone, though. In behind the net now, as Suzuki gets tied up from behind. They battle for it. In the corner, it comes free for Hagel, and he flips it out, or tried to at least. Slavkovsky holds it in. Into the corner, Littleberg. Hagel has the puck now. Big hit there by Anderson. And James will fire it back in from the red line. And Hudson has the puck in behind his own net. Got it ahead here. Here's Demidov with less than 6 to go in the third period. Demidov in, waits. Fakes the shot, and now around the boards it goes. Back to the point, held in by Jackeye. Deflected back in by Anderson in behind. To the corner it goes for Deneau. Deneau on the backhand has it. Chipped it in behind Anderson. Off a body of Chernak. Gonsalves battling. Tied up in the corner. Comes free for James. Deneau. They battle still. Chernak, James got it into the middle. Gonsalves trying to get it out. And they are looking to get it out still. James. And it's finally cleared by Tampa Bay. And they'll get a change while they're at it. Moser. And now a stretch ahead, deflected back in by Paul. And now to the loose puck here. It's Bolduc to Jackeye and his skates. Got it to his stick. Back for Bolduc once again. 5 minutes to go in the third period. And we're still scoreless. Chipped back in from center. Dastu has the puck now. In behind his own net. Carries it to the front. And now it's Lilleberg. Trying to stretch it ahead. Hudson trying to clear it. He does out to center. And Perry has the puck now and he'll fire back in. Round the boards it goes. Gooley to the loose puck in the corner. Got ahead now. Bolduc fires it back in. McDonough to the loose puck in his own zone. And it's stretched ahead. Deflected touch pass here. Back in on side of the Lightning. Chernak forced off into the corner. And it's intercepted along the wall. Comes back. Paul the shot. Wired wide. And a centering pass there for Girgensons could not connect. It's held on the line, though, by Chernak once again. Got it into the middle. Paul. Paul waits. Looking. Fed it up top. McDonough fires. Deflected wide. And Slavkovsky looking to clear. Chernak holds it in once again. Slavkovsky battling for it. He gets it out to center. 4 minutes to go in the third period. Fired back into the Canadian zone by their own man in Slavkovsky. And it's Hudson now with the puck with less than 4 to go in the third. Suzuki got it across. Here's Caulfield with Hudson cutting. Save made Vasilevsky. With 3:44 to go in the third period. It's going to be a great finish here in Montreal. We are still scoreless with 3:44 to go. Opportunities aplenty. We will be back. My, oh my, 3:44 to go. We are still scoreless. Welcome you back, everybody. Third period. And a 3:44 left to go in the third period here in Montreal. And we are still scoreless. I'm Max. Glad you can be with us here on our coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs. And it's going to be a great finish to this game, regardless whoever wins. Either we end the series here at the Bell Center, or we go to a Game 7 in Tampa on Sunday if the Tampa Bay Lightning score. If Montreal scores, obviously the series is over, and they move on to the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. It is just great to see this type of hockey in the playoffs. This is what you wait for. This is what you dream about. This is what you love to see, and what you love to experience here in the Stanley Cup playoffs. We are so close to overtime. Let's hope we get there. And with 3:44 to go in the third period, we welcome you in, everybody. We're over 100 viewers right now. Continue to share the stream around. We're going to have an overtime coming up. We'll have our overtime intermission report with 3:44 to go. The Bell Center crowd on their feet, as they should be, in a tense Game 6. And this crowd continues to wave those towels, and the chances continue to pile on here in the third period. Off the draw, won by Evans. At the line, Carrier fires. It deflected into the corner. And Hagel got it into the middle for Radish. 3.5 to go in the third. Off a skate, trying to clear it was Evans. He got it to Demidov. Nice move by Demidov. He carries it in. Demidov trying to make another move. Demidov's in and a save! And he runs over Vasilevsky. And the Tampa Bay crowd in the bench is outraged by that. And there's a penalty upcoming. Oh my goodness. late power play. And so Tampa will get a late power play with a goaltending interference call, as he made two spectacular moves. He was kind of getting shoved in there by Cirelli, though. A little bit, at least. There was nowhere he could just move out of the way. He was just driving towards the net. But they do call it. And so Tampa will go to the power play late in the third period. Could end it here and force a game 7. And the crowd here at the Bell Center worried after that call is made, and who wouldn't be if you're a Canadiens fan here in the crowd. 50 combined shots here in the game, and a chance here for the Lightning to go up by 1 and potentially inch closer to a game 7. 0 for 2 on the power play, the Lightning, and they only have 1 shot on it. Oh boy, what a great finish we're going to have for you at the Bell Center. Power play underway. Around the boards. As it's not cleared out yet. Point across it goes for Hagel. Along the wall. Hagel has it at the blue line waiting. Got it to Radish. Back for Kucherov. Down low at the goal line, Gensel. Back for Kucherov once again. Waits. Fires. It's blocked by Newhook. Gensel. One-timer by Kucherov and a save made. Dobish. In behind the net now is Hagel. Matheson now. They battle for it in behind the net. Wouldn't it be ironic if Hagel got the game winner? Centering pass. It comes up high. Gensel at the blue line waiting. Got it to Kucherov in the circle. Return feed Gensel. Kucherov, a one-timer, save made. Dobish, another big one. Gensel, cross, one-timer by Radish, save, rebound. Point couldn't jam it on the rebound. Oh my goodness. What a save by Dobish. Hagel drags. Got the pass to Kucherov. Return feed Hagel. Hagel fires across. Gensel back for Kucherov. Radish across Gensel. Back for Kucherov, waiting. Kucherov shot wide of the net. Up in the air. Gooley battles for it. They jam along the corner. Gensel gets it free. Flips it up top. Kucherov waits. Kucherov looking. Waits again. Got it to Gensel. Backdoor point. Gensel couldn't get the shot away. Here's Kucherov again. Fires. Save. Dobish again. Kucherov. One-timer by Radish. Another block. Hagel. Waiting. Got it to Gensel. Kucherov. Across for Radish. Back for Kucherov. Shot. Wide of the net. Point. What a save. Rebound went wide. Dobish coming up big. Off a skate. Not cleared. Point holds it in. Power play expiring. Here's Radish waiting down low and covered up by Dobish. They get the penalty kill. Unbelievable. They get the kill late with 1:15 to go in the third. That's unbelievable. What a penalty kill effort by the Montreal Canadiens. And we remain scoreless here in Game 6. My goodness. Wow. I don't know how we remained scoreless after that. After that whole sequence. Point was tied up. There was a rebound right there laying for him. And he was tied up in front of the net. Man, oh man, the puck movement for the Tampa Bay Lightning late. What a penalty kill. What blocks. What saves by Dobish. Incredible stuff with 1:15 to go in the third. And Dobish took a little bit of a punch on Hagel after he was trying to continue to whack at that puck. 28-26, the shots favoring Tampa Bay. And with 1:15 left to go in the third period, we continue on. Off the faceoff, they battle for it. Suzuki trying to win the draw. He does. Carrier out of the tie-up and cleared out to center. Here's Suzuki now. Pressured from behind and stolen away on the back check by Girgensons. Chernak clears it out to center. Fired back in by Hudson with less than a minute to go in the third. Gonsalves will get it in behind his own net. Played it here. And McDonough has it on the backhand, plays it back for Gonsalves once again. He's forced back and towards Vasilevsky. A turnover at the line. Caulfield tried to move it into the middle, couldn't. Here's Carrier. Gets it back. Tries to get a pass ahead. Deflected, so no icing. With 35 to go in the third period. McDonough got it to Chernak. Looked to stretch it ahead here. Couldn't. And Gooley will get it in the corner. With 25 to go in the period. Around the boards it goes. Here come the Canadiens late. Across it goes Danault. Here's Anderson. Waiting. Played that back to the line. Held in. Anderson in the corner with 15 to go in the period. As Evans has it in the corner. Jake Evans played it back to the line. Long shot by Gooley. Knocked down in front. And the backhander went wide. As Danault was tied up with 2 seconds to go in the period. Played back to the line. Not enough time. As Matheson's shot was blocked at the whistle. We go to OT. Oh my goodness. The second straight game that we've covered here on the NHL on MHS will go to OT. Wow, what a finish to regulation. What a penalty kill by the Montreal Canadiens. And we remain scoreless going into overtime. We will be back. The only guarantee again for the second straight broadcast, the final will be 1-0. The question is, who will win it? Will it be a Game 7 if Tampa scores, or will it be the Canadiens moving on to the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs? The fourth overtime game of this series. It's going to be a dandy. We'll be back, everybody, with our intermission report coming up next in overtime here in Montreal. Welcome you back, everybody. Sorry we had some technical difficulties, but we're back for our overtime intermission report as Montreal and Tampa are scoreless going into OT. So, we're going to another scoreless OT, Owen, as we have our hockey analyst with us again. And how about it? We're doing this again. It seems like we just did this.
It feels so very much deja vu going on right now.
Mm-hmm. Unbelievable. Now this is happening again. And chances aplenty. Both the goalies spectacular in net. And, nothing else much to say. The shots after regulations, a big penalty kill by Montreal late in the period. Demi Dov, I believe, got called for slashing. So he went to the a goalie interference, actually, pardon me. Goalie interference. And then Tampa had chances of plenty. Dobish with some big saves, some big blocks, and that's how we get to this overtime here. And, man, oh man, what a way to finish it off. Either we see Montreal move on to the second round, or we see a Game 7. What do you think we see?
I think we see Montreal win. I think they're going to be able to close it out. But I said that about Pittsburgh, and they lost, so it's anyone's game still. Yeah. It's a one-shot game right now.
And the goalies have been big. They have not let anything up, as there's been a total of 53 shots combined in the game, and no one has scored. We had gotten close. One off the goal line by Deneau, and now it's back in the second period, and just big saves all around. Vasilevsky with some huge saves in the second period, and then some big saves by Dobish in the third. Leads us to go to this overtime. We will be back, and we will return. Overtime is next here on the NHL and MHS. Welcome you back here to Montreal, and we have overtime here, and deja vu, scoreless, like we had in Philadelphia, and with that Pittsburgh Penguins game where Philadelphia won it in OT, and this series has had 3 overtime winners, 2 by Montreal. The Lane Hudson one was the latest one in Game 3. What a shot by Lane Hudson in that OT winner in that one. And we're about 22 seconds away from the overtime. I know you're ahead of me, so on your feed, so
I've got it paused at the puck drop.
10 seconds to go, and this Bell Center crowd, it will erupt if the Montreal Canadiens score here in overtime. And this is a very loud crowd.
If they score, no one will be sleeping in Montreal tonight.
Oh, no one will. No one will sleep tonight if you're a Montreal Canadiens fan.
Absolutely no one.
No one. Big overtime upcoming. Here's the big thing. If Montreal scores, they move on to the second round, and right now I think they'd play Buffalo as they were up 3-1 for my last check, and maybe moved on to the second round already. And it looks like we're close to puck drop for the overtime as they line up, and that's at center, and we're underway. Matheson now has the puck and chips it back in off the boards. Caulfield will get to the loose puck first, almost. Now taken away here by Kucherov, who fires it back in from center. Around the boards it goes, knocked down by Hagel. Kucherov in the corner, up on the air, it hit the glass. It did not hit out of play. Sorelli knocked down Slavkovsky, trying to clear it, held in by Kucherov off the slash. And Kucherov lost it, and Slavkovsky got it across. Caulfield, deflected pass into the corner. Radish. Round the boards it goes here as Hagel and Slavkovsky backhands it. Radish off the boards, out to center, down the length of the ice, played by Dobish on goal. And so we continue on as Carrier stretches it ahead. Here is Demidov. Shot! Save! Vasilevsky! He barely got a piece of that. Wow. Anderson plays that back. Wow, what a stop. In the corner, Anderson gets to the loose puck. Danault around the boards to the point. It's held in by Hudson. And then Perry forces it out here. Going back for the puck is Gooley. He gets pressured from point from behind. The shots are 29-27 in favor of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Here comes Danault back in. Fires on goal. Save made. And it's covered up by Vasilevsky. Man. Thoughts on so far in the overtime? This
is probably Vasilevsky's strongest game of the series so far. He's wanting this game back in Tampa. He wants to close out the series with a win in Tampa very clearly, but Montreal is going to do everything in their power to win their first series since 2021.
And that was in
overtime. All it takes is one shot, and neither goalie wants it.
Mm-hmm.
This game, all it takes is one shot for the series to end, and neither goalie wants it to end. Or neither goalie wants to be on the losing end of that shot.
Mm-hmm. Last time Montreal won a series was in overtime against Vegas in Game 6 when it was the semifinals, technically the conference finals. But, yeah, that was their last series win back in 2021 when they made it all the way to the Stanley Cup final. In behind the net now as it goes around the boards. That was here at the Bell Center, too. Just 5 years ago. Slavkovsky in behind the net, looks to center. Caulfield, a wraparound attempt. They try to jam at it, and they could not stuff it in. Suzuki now gets it free from the boards. Plays that back. Hudson blocked on the way through. Here's another try, and it goes wide to the top of the crease. Suzuki slap pass. Hudson now fires. It got blocked. Destu. Caulfield was trying to get the puck free. Caulfield tried to steal it away, and the Lightning have possession as they flip it out. Across the ice, Gonsalves off the boards, got it to himself. Angled off there by Carrier. And ahead here for Slavkovsky back in. Flipped it back into the zone. To the corner it goes. Chernak to the loose puck in behind his own net. McDonough. Across the ice, that pass couldn't connect. Texier has some trouble. And now Doc trying to force it back into the Tampa Bay zone. Chernak now has the puck, and he'll stretch it ahead here. As Kucherov has it. Kucherov into the middle. Gensel couldn't settle the pass down. And Bolduc will look to stretch it ahead the other way. Deflected, I think, in Texier. And Vasilevsky plays it. McDonough deflected. Gensel. And McDonough got it to Chernak around the boards. Cleared out to center. Bouncing puck, and Matheson has the puck. Deflected back in, out of play into the crowd there. Exactly 3 minutes into overtime.
Been some back and forth hockey, but I'd say so far this OT, Montreal has been the stronger team. They've generated far more chances, but they just haven't capitalized quite yet.
Mm-hmm.
And this, I'm sure everyone in Montreal hopes for this series win, as this is a rematch of the 2021 Stanley Cup Finals. A little weird being in the first round, but COVID years, you got to give them some grace there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it was very weird in those two COVID years. I mean, first the play-in 2020, and then 2021 where the divisions got switched around. And that's what made it happen in Stanley Cup Final with Montreal and Tampa Bay in that 2021 year. Demi-Dov has the puck.
COVID made 2 East teams win.
2 East teams faced off. Turnover at the blue line. Here's Paul. Trying to get it to Gonsalves. It was Gergensons and could not. Evans gives it away. Gergensons trying to get the pass from Gord and could not. Gergensons in behind the net now. Gord in the corner. Plays that back here to the line. Long shot wide of the net. As Evans and now knocked down and regained by the Lightning. Radish has it. Plays that back for Moser. 4 minutes until overtime. Stretched it ahead here. Here's James chipping it into the corner. Bjorkstrand, Jackeye, tied up in behind the net. Deneau, got it to Newhook, trying to clear it out. What a hit on Newhook. Jackeye now. Gets pressured along the corner by Bjorkstrand. Around it goes to the point, held in by Lilleberg. Dominic James shot to the top of the crease. And Newhook trying to clear it. Cannot, held in by Gonsalves. And it's forced out again by Newhook. Pressuring there. Buffalo's up 4-1. Now stretch ahead here. Gonsalves tried to pass it. Looks like Buffalo's going to move on. That's Stu. Got it across. And here's Bjorkstrand back in on side. Got shoved off along the boards. Dominic James around to the point where no one was there. In white, it's cleared out. McDonough has it. Tampa Bay now with some possession here in overtime. Deflected, so no icing. Going back for the puck here is Hudson. Off the boards, out to center. Intercepted by McDonough. And fired back in by Cirelli. Around the boards it goes. Struble trying to get there. Kucherov gets there instead. Here's Hagel now. Hagel in behind the net. Hagel looking. Hagel waiting. Got it into the corner. Kucherov touch pass. Shot save! There's a big rebound in front. Hagel stopped by Dobish. And it's cleared out.
Dubas was absolutely watching that play from the corner. That was perfectly played by Dubas there. He saw every single one of that play. He saw it before it even happened.
Wow. The big save and then the rebound. I think actually deflected, actually. The Radish shot from the blue line.
Can't even credit Dubas for that.
It was... Who was diving there? I can't even... I think that might have been... I'm not sure who that was. I didn't get a good look at the numbers there. It might have been Lane Hudson. I'm not sure.
I believe it was Hudson, and crucial block, but...
Wow.
Yeah,
Still
Tampa
scoreless.
Just about send this.
Wow. Face-off won by Montreal in behind. Matheson tied up from behind by Hagel. He gets pressured. A trip there and a penalty upcoming. Kucherov ties up Carrier and he trips him up. And a power play for the Canadiens.
This will be massive for the Canadiens. This is exactly what they were looking for in this OT here. Just took Tampa Bay's #1 player out for the next 2 minutes of the game.
Oh my.
Get an extra man. This is perfect. This is exactly what Montreal needs.
That's a clear one, too. And I mean, with the late call on Montreal late with 3:10 to go in the third period, I mean, maybe Montreal was due for this call, too. And they get a crucial one 5.5 minutes into OT, a power play to try to win the series. Oh, boy. The crowd here at the Bell Center standing on their feet. Suzuki in the face-off. Datsovkovsky, Caulfield, Demi-Dov, and Hudson out here on the ice. Hagel, Cirelli, Chernak, and McDonough, the penalty killers. And cleared out to the line. Not out of the zone. Hudson holds it in. Fires it down low, and Savkovsky missed it. Wow. Demi-Dov. What a setup, and it almost became the game winner. Suzuki waits, fires, deflected into the corner. Caulfield got it to Demi-Dov along the half wall. Demi-Dov plays that back. A bouncing puck could not be held in by Hudson. And now it is Demi-Dov carrying it back in. Off a skate, cleared out. Oh my. Hudson 0 for 2 on the power play of the Canadiens with 3 shots. Caulfield, the drop pass for Suzuki, carrying it back in, crossing the blue line. Demidov crossed the ice into the middle. Slavkovsky got it to Demidov. In the circle, down low and behind the net now Suzuki. Demidov waiting. Demidov looking. Continues to wait. Slavkovsky in the corner. Plays that back to the line. Hudson holds it in. Got it to Caulfield along the half wall. Down low it goes for Suzuki. Centering pass! And what a save, Vasilevsky on Hudson. Slavkovsky around the boards. It goes with 45 to go on the man advantage. Here's Demidov down low. Slavkovsky looking, cross the ice, and Caulfield couldn't get the pass cleanly as the stick was in the lane. Hudson gets tripped up again. Gergensons clears it. They don't call it. They're not gonna.
Oh, they'll never call that now.
Nah, they won't call it in overtime.
This will be the last power play of the game. Unless some egregious hit happens, this will most likely be the last power play of this game.
Wow. And Tampa Bay just 12 seconds away from going back to even strength here. And what a penalty kill here again by both teams. Here is a drop pass for Hagel's shot that was blocked on the way through. Power play's over. We're back to 5-on-5. Given away. Here's Kucherov for the game winner. Save made Dobich out of the penalty box, and he was denied to force this series to a game 7.
Massive save for Dubas there.
Wow.
Wow. Montreal just can't be turning over pucks like that. But Dubas just bailed him out. But, man, you just cannot turn over the puck like that at the blue line.
Oh, my. Slavkovsky had the series right there on his stick. And then Hudson.
If Montreal is not... Montreal doesn't win this series, Slavkovsky's going to be beating himself up for missing that empty net.
Wow. And if they don't send it to 7, Kucherov's going to be beating himself for not scoring this opportunity.
Yeah. But Dubas was all over that puck. I don't even think if Kucherov was truly all alone, I don't even think he scores there. Wow. Dubas has been outstanding all series.
Jacob Dobich, unbelievable. 12:21 to go in the OT. We continue on somehow after all of that. It's been like that in regulation. It's been like that here in overtime. Man, oh man. Fun. Playoff hockey. Gensel.
Fun indeed.
Fun. Cleared out. Out to center by Carrier. Evans up in the air. And it's Anderson firing it back in from the red line. 8 minutes have passed here in the OT as it's cleared out to center. As they rode the boards. Point pressuring Madison there. He spins away from pressure. Here they come back in as Evans. Evans looking. The drop pass back to the point. Held in by Matheson. Evans in the corner. Trying to steal it away from point. He's tied up there. And Radish got it to Gensel. Flipped out to center ice. Matheson now chips it. And then deflected back in. Both teams going for a line change here. They got to be quick here and efficient. They can't have long shifts here on the ice, or else you're going to get burned in overtime. Matheson back in on the outside looking. Matheson around the boards it goes. As it's not held in by Texier. Shot blocked by one of the Tampa Bay players on Evans' shot from the blue line. And so Moser has the puck now for Tampa Bay. Longest overtime of the series. James into the corner. Banked it off the boards, and Lilleberg has it in behind the net. Lilleberg trying to get there, and Bolduc chipped it ahead. Not out of the zone just yet. Hagel holds it in. Nice move by Hagel. Hagel, down low it goes. In front, what a save! Rebound scores! Gonsalves on the rebound! And we go to a game 7!
Wow. That was a great setup by Tampa Bay. Hagel absolutely walks the Canadiens, goes in, shoots, and Dubas just gives up a massive rebound there. No questioning that goal. This is going back to Tampa.
Wow. And the series is tied, and there will be a game 7, and what a win for the Tampa Bay Lightning, killing off that power play in overtime. What a move by Hagel to set it up here. James, the pass down low, and Gonsalves on the rebound. Wow.
Yeah, Wow, indeed.
A stunned crowd
But-
here.
Maybe this is what Montreal wants, as if you look at the series, each team's been alternating wins, and right now Montreal is on pace to win this game. If the history repeats itself, Montreal will win, as they will be the next team in line for the win, as they've just been alternating wins all series.
Wow. So I don't think there's any question that's not going to count. And so Tampa will force this series back to a Game 7. And John Cooper points at the crowd with a number 1 saying, one more. One more. Wow, what a finish here at the Bell Center. And the crowd back in Tampa loves that. At the Waterworks Park in Tampa, Florida, they know there will be a Game 7 back in Tampa. Wow. A stunned crowd here at the Bell Center. Wow. I'm stunned.
Yeah. Hey, Max, if only our teams could have forced a Game 7, but
I knew you were going to bring that up. Man, what a crushing loss for the Montreal Canadiens. And Tampa's forced this series to a 7th game. And
I might add the fan they were just showing on the TV here looks like he was ready to go storm a U.S. Capitol building.
Mark, jeez. Oh my goodness. Wow. So Tampa gets the win 1-0. Deja vu, anyone? This one ended earlier than the one we commentated the other night in Philadelphia, but same score, and the away team gets it instead. And the Canadiens Plaza in Montreal, displeased by the result of that. But it's a do-or-die Game 7 on Sunday. And so we will have a Game 7 in the first round. And this was the 13th overtime game of the playoffs already? Wow.
There's been a lot. And if I'm not mistaken, this has a good chance of being the only Game 7.
Unless Utah forces a Game 7 against Vegas tonight.
Buffalo won their series.
So we know Buffalo's moved on as they beat Boston in 6. Look at Slavkovsky right here. He's going to be haunted by that. Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow.
He's going to be haunted like that. How McKinnon is still haunted probably by his massive miss at the Olympics.
Oh, my goodness. So thoughts after that overtime?
Montreal looked like the far better team, and they're going to execute, though, like Tampa Bay could. All it took was Tampa Bay, second chance of the overtime, and they buried it.
I mean, just completely unbelievable what just happened here. And an incredible win by Tampa on the road. And wow, what a stunned, what a way. I was mentioning earlier on the broadcast that Martin St. Louis has experience in getting Tampa to a Game 7 in overtime against a Canadian team. They did that in 2004 when in the Calgary Flames in the Stanley Cup Final, when Martin St. Louis scored in double overtime to force it to a Game 7, and they won that Game 7 2-0 and won the Stanley Cup after Calgary lost Game 6 and 7. So I was bringing that up, and it applies here now. Because now the series is tied at 3, and who knows what's going to happen now. This has been the tightest first-round series that we've seen in a long time, it seems like.
This was a very evenly matched first round. Couldn't have had. This is probably got to be, in my opinion, the most entertaining first round so far.
Wow. Complete stunned.
Yeah.
Wow.
I really thought Montreal was going to win that, but maybe next time I should predict Tampa to win it, and maybe Montreal will win it.
Montreal, if they lose in Game 7, there will be no Canadian teams left in the playoffs. So,
No.
there's pressure on the Montreal Canadiens. We'll see. Game 7 on Sunday. And final thoughts before we go.
All I'll say, the Montreal Canadiens will be bringing Canada to the closest it's ever been since the Olympics. There might still be a few Maple Leafs fans holding out, but right now they got the support of the other 6 teams.
Wow. So a stunned Bell Center And a huge overtime winner by Gonçalves to send this series back to Tampa for a Game 7 on Sunday. Completely unbelievable. That is unbelievable. Absolutely. The game winner, the only goal of the game in overtime. Gonçalves on the rebound on Dobish. From Owen, I'm Max. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you next time here on the NHL on MHS. This series will go the length and will go to 7. The question is, who will win? That'll be the question, and who will face the Buffalo Sabres in the next round. Good night, everybody.